Countdown clock. We went live on Played in Traffic. I don't know where Lewis Lee is, but I'm sure he'll appear shortly. So I'm Ray Guarino from Motormouth Radio and Played in Traffic. And we also have Macro Man Brian.
Hey, Ray, what's up?
And Mr. Longshot. Hello,
Mr.
fellas.
Longshot.
And Papa Squirrel.
Papa Squirrel with blockage.
So, yeah, it looks like we're holding down the fort. Lewis, it says here, add to stage. We're going to have a stage, but he ain't there.
There he is. The man of the hour.
Lewis, we started without you. We're live.
I see. What up?
We're going.
How's it going?
Excellent. Another Thursday night rolled around.
Man, it came quick, don't it?
Yeah.
Super fast.
Yeah, we were going to have Joe from Garage Squad come on, but he had some things he had to take care of, so he couldn't make it. But he's going to be on in a couple weeks.
Cool.
Good deal.
Yep. What are you guys up to? How was your week?
Quiet.
Busy.
Fast.
I should have taken Ray's offer and drive up and help him on the Jeep today. Wednesday I didn't do anything, and today was pretty much the same old nothing. Drove around and burning a lot of fuel.
Well, you know, why, since you brought that up, now I have an issue with this Jeep because if you remember about a year ago, there was a guy who bought a Mustang, 66 Mustang convertible on eBay.
Yep.
And that car was a total disaster. It was totally misrepresented. They painted parts to make them look new and sold it for a lot of money. Well, he got it. Then we got it to fix just a minor, what he thought was a minor brake issue, which ended up being a major brake rebuild, and then did other stuff to the car. And then he ended up selling it.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he sold it. I know that he didn't get back his money. There's no way he could have because he overspent in the beginning. Well, now I get a call from the boss. He says, "Listen," he goes, "I got another job for you, a Jeep CJ, and it's got some kind of a brake issue. It was at a shop. Somebody did brakes, and now maybe it's got a leak or something." I'm like, "All right, so we're mopping up somebody else's mess on aisle 5 again, right?" So the Jeep comes in today, and lo and behold, it's the same guy who bought that Mustang.
Oh no!
My goodness. So
I don't know where. Yeah, again, this is a problem. It's good, but it's bad because
that's this Jeep, right, Ray?
Where are you?
Oh, wait a minute.
It's a red, white, and blue. Put a red, white, and blue flag wrap on it. They paid like $3,000 to have it wrapped. That's the one. Yeah.
Wow.
The one. Yeah. So
can I get his number? I'm going to sell him some stuff.
I'm telling you, man, me too. So, this is it's like I said, it's the beauty and it's the curse. I usually never get to meet the people that own these vehicles because they deal with them at one shop, then it comes over to the shop where I work, which is a couple towns away. So it's kind of good because I'm isolated. I don't have to have these guys hanging over my shoulders or anything. But I want to ask them questions like, geez, like, what the hell were you thinking, when you did this? So I actually asked today if this guy might be like maybe in his late 30s, 40s, maybe even late 40s, and he's going through like a second midlife crisis or something, buying these cars he wanted in high school. I found out, no, the guy is like very successful in a real estate company. He's like 50 years old, but he's still like he impulse buys. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the Jeep looked like underneath when he got it, but he spent $3,000 to have it wrapped, like you saw. My first look at the thing was
question.
Yeah, go.
Did he buy this one sight unseen and not looked at, or what?
Again, I don't know because I don't talk to the customer. If the Jeep could talk, I could get some answers. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where it came from. So the first thing I see is it's got aftermarket wheels and tires on it, bigger wheels and tires, which look good. Not one wheel had 5 lug nuts on it. 3 of them had 4. One of them had 3, and they left the stock studs in the hubs, so the studs should have been a little longer.
Yeah.
So we'll address that at a later date. But so right off the bat, I'm like, okay, here we go. You know, I checked the master. There's fluid in it. It was about halfway down both chambers. So I said, all right, well, I raise the Jeep up. I look around with my light, and I don't see any leaks anywhere until I get to the right rear wheel. Then I see a wetness on the backing plate down by the inspection hole. I said, okay, we got a bad wheel cylinder. I pull the drum and I find out it had a bad wheel cylinder, and I guess the last shop changed it and put a new wheel cylinder in. Of course, they didn't clean any brake fluid off or anything, and they didn't put a wheel cylinder on the other side. They were of the school of just do one side and leave it alone. So still no leaks that I could find. So I said, well, let me just do brake bleed, and see where I'm at. And I didn't like the pedal, and I said, I got a funny feeling this thing needs a master. And when I pulled the master off, it had been leaking. The rear seal had been leaking because it was totally corroded in there. Yeah. Now I put a master cylinder on it today, and bench bled the master, put it on, and that should have been good enough. But I don't have a good brake pedal, so now I'm digging out my old in the library, right? This brake system book tells you all the ins and outs, because I think this thing has a proportion valve that you need to push or pull on the valve before you do a brake bleed. And I'm trying to find out.
How do I turn my camera
when I
around?
pull the rear drums, I notice like something's missing. There's self-adjusters on the bottom, but there's no arm that would go click, 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 click. So they left the cable and the shoe and that arm out of both sides. So now first thing in the morning, I got to tell the guy at the shop, order me brake hardware. Because now we're stripping the rear wheel. Same thing, kind of the same stuff I did on the Mustang. So,
wow. So this guy's a magnet, huh?
but man, a ratcheting line wrench would have been good today, because I had to undo a couple of. Then I was going like an eighth of a turn at a time. And I said, "Damn, who do I know who's got ratcheting line wrenches?" And there he is, right there.
Well, they just came in, and it has no ratcheting mechanism though. So this thing.
I gotta figure out how to turn the camera around.
So when you got it on, it just slides and you pull and slides.
Right. But that's kind of the ratchet.
Yeah.
You know what I did use? This thing had 9/32 inch rear bleeders. I had to take out my ignition wrenches to find a wrench that small. Yeah, 9/32.
9/32. Wow.
And the front ones were 3/8. So Brian, I used one of the old
ratcheting wrenches.
My 3/8 to do the front brakes.
Well, yeah, it's funny because, like I said, this has like 11 millimeters on one side, and then when you turn it over,
19/32.
Well, it has 7/16.
What was that? Like 19/32. Which one was that?
Yeah, that was the 15 millimeter.
Okay.
Yeah, they have 15 millimeter on one side, and then when you turn it over, it's 19/32.
Yeah, I got a kick out of that. That's the popular size.
Yeah, well,
that's like 9/32.
We had a good one today. We had a guy, a new guy. He's like, "Hey, this 14 millimeter the wrench only fits open, but not on the box.
It only fits what?
It only fits on the open end of the bolt, but not on the box."
Oh.
And I said, "Yeah, because it's a 9/16 bolt, and of course he shows the head of the bolt." And I said, "Yeah, it's a grade 8 9/16, not a metric head." So, because the guy was trying to complain that the wrench was made wrong and he wanted it warranted, but every other 14 they grabbed didn't fit. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. All right, let's see what Paul's somewhere not at home.
No, he's not. He's somewhere.
He's got that bus going.
How do I flip my camera around?
I have no clue. What kind of phone do you have?
It's an iPhone. How do I flip the camera around?
You got this little arrow thing. You got the semicircular arrows.
I can't remember if StreamYard does that on the web or not.
Well, I think if he has his
Well,
camera,
he's on his
There it
phone.
is.
There we go. There you go. Okay, guys, I got the camera flipped around. I can walk around now. Let me
where are you?
get down. It's awful noisy, so I cannot hear a single one of you guys.
That's pretty neat looking.
It looks like an
So
Armored
here's
car.
where we are with it right now. You can see it's got the Dodge dually chassis underneath of it. Tank's ready to go in. You start to see how that's all turned out.
Man, that'd be nice
Got
to.
the back.
It looks
You
like a
can
freaking
see,
Armored car.
like on Lewis's, we cut and raised. This one we cut and removed 15 inches.
Nice. That'd be cool to pull behind the bus.
The Dodge frame, and we got small block Chevrolet with the mounts made up inside the frame here. We got the headers to fit. We got the stacks coming out the sides. See, there we go. The stacks coming up and out the sides. We got the dually rear end. We got the dash going in. The students have really kicked ass on this. Most of them are gone for the night now. We're on mountain time, so I'm 2 hours behind you.
That's pretty
But,
neat.
this is where things stand with the Wrenching for the Future project. Stay tuned, because tomorrow, and you can see drastically how much we took out of this and what we did with the windshield and the seam that's all down and the seams on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So, there you go with that. Here's the front clip.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Front clip. They did all the wiring to the front half throughout the day today. We did a test on it. Everything works. The wiring for all the lights on the cab, everything's there. As soon as they finish off the steering column, I can get the steering turn signal switch in place. We got the dash, basic 3-gauge setup in the dash. And we'll be ready to fire up and hopefully be doing a burnout tomorrow.
Sweet.
So,
Can you hear us, Paul?
I will. Like I said, I know you guys are talking, but I really can't hear you too much. So I'll go ahead and sign off, and we'll get you the complete update, but you should be able to see the rest of the build and the progress if you follow Wrenching for the Future and follow No Class and go from there. And I'll post as much to Facebook as I can. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Paul. Oh,
Nice.
you need a set of zoomies coming out of the hood of that thing. Get on the truck.
Right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That was neat.
I hope they leave it patinaed.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if is that an old milk truck?
No, that was a school bus.
I'll tell you,
what?
it looked like an armored car.
Well, where was the windows?
They cut 15 inches out of it.
Yeah, they lowered it 15 inches.
Yeah, I know they did, but
That's about
the
the height of the
windows.
window, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, pretty close. It just
That's
does.
what it looked like.
It's before they put rub rails on them, Lewis.
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't
said
know
it was
what year that front end was, but that was
Yeah, he said it was like a 59 or something.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, it was
That's
old.
pretty neat.
He said it was a Dodge body.
Yeah.
It was a Dodge frame with a Chevy engine, and it was a Dodge body, and it was a
And they put a dually frame under it.
dually frame under it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Real, Frankenstein.
I didn't know they were doing that this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wrenching for the Future. He mentioned it a couple weeks ago.
Did he?
Yeah, I think it's a 15. Maybe a 68, 69.
Wow, it looked older than that.
Looked older than that.
Hold on, what's this here?
What's up, Justin?
Oh, another day of fun, guys. How about y'all?
now Justin is immersed in the AMC world. I see, huh?
We're getting there.
So let me ask you a question. I'm working on this Jeep, and of course, you got to look on the AMC a lot of times in the manuals for specs, and or any of you guys, if you're familiar with it. Like I was just saying before Paul came in, the metering block has a valve on it, and to bleed the brakes, some of them you have to push the end, and some of them you have to pull it. I know my Monte Carlo had one because I actually made a note of it in this book, and the Monte needed to be it was pushed. So, is anybody familiar with Jeeps bleeding Jeep brakes?
I am not.
Okay. We'll figure it out, I guess.
Just pump it up and cut her loose.
Yeah, can't be that bad. After I get all the right hardware.
Did you put a new master in, right?
I put a master in today, yeah.
Yeah, did you adjust the rod and everything? And I
didn't. I went with what was there.
uh-huh.
I just replaced the master. I kind of did it just like a regular shop job.
Yeah.
I figure we'd just take it a step at a time with this thing before I go crazy. And that's the other problem, not having driven it or known what it was like before. I don't know what the brake pedal was like before. I hate that because I have a very specific like for the way my brake pedal is. And a lot of people will take it any way they can get it.
Yeah.
And I've done that where I fought for like a day or two to get a brake pedal where I wanted it and found out, oh no, it was never like that. It was always almost on the floor.
It's always made that noise.
Yeah. So that's why I try to get information, but it's not always available.
Because I think on those there's they have a bushing up in there and that control arm or for the brakes. I mean, that was one of the things with the older Volkswagens and Porsches and even I guess the Audis. I don't know. I haven't but they get a little wear or a little slop in them, and of course the pedal will sit a little lower. Of course, when you get into a 911 with the pedals working backwards, it threw everybody for a loop.
This thing is set up pretty weird. It's a 91, and it's got a 4-cylinder in it, a fuel injected 4-cylinder with a standard transmission. I drove it. It's peppy. I mean, because there's no weight, so the thing really it moves. It's got a hydraulic clutch, which is neat, and shitty brakes. Now the guy was, from what I heard, the guy's already talking about doing an engine swap and a tranny swap, and God knows. I just leave it the way it is. It drives, it runs. Now another funny thing, I got to get a picture of this tomorrow. I'm looking through the engine compartment. I noticed that the distributor cap, there's the distributor cap that's on there has screws that you would screw down into the distributor. But there's 2 zip ties holding the cap on the distributor because I'm pretty sure the body of the distributor is supposed to have 2 clips that come up and grab the cap. So somebody put a different cap on it with screws and then I guess lost those spring latches off the distributor, so they use zip ties. Can't make it up.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but it's more fun when it's real. It's like
that it is.
Oh my God.
As I'm working on my bus, I'm doing stuff the way, like, when you run into a situation, you figure out a way to do it your way.
Right.
So that's what happens with people doing cars. We don't know what their situation was to get to that point where they did something goofy. You know what I mean?
I guess that was some kind of sedan. I mean, a work wagon, right, Paul? I mean,
right.
Well, I mean, it was like a utility phone truck or something. The picture that
I don't know what those vented panels are.
But if you look at the piece that's kind of painted over, it looks like it was
like a bread or a milk truck
or something or utility.
You can bring it up full screen, Lewis, if you go to the chat on Facebook.
All right, wait a minute.
It wasn't a school bus, so
no.
I wonder where they found that.
It looks like a late 40s, early 50s though. I've been tabbing through, trying to find if they said anywhere like what year it was or anything. But
Yeah, it's tall. That's what the roof in the regular spot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then with those vents, it looks like it was a utility truck or
Yeah. Yeah, power company, water company, something like that.
yeah.
I'm betting milk truck.
I don't know about
Maybe.
the milk truck.
I just don't know what those vented panels up top would be for.
Maybe they're gun ports.
Delivering milk in a pretty shady neighborhood.
It looked like an armored car to me.
I don't think they had neighborhoods like that back in the 40s and 50s.
No, they had everybody running around with Tommy guns in the 40s. I still can't imagine. I've never shot one of them, but the Tommy gun with the drum mag that shot like 9 45s. Can you
45.
imagine what that thing was like? I mean, has anybody ever fired one of those?
No, but I used to own a Mac 10 that was a 45.
Oh,
I did
thought
too.
They were all mine.
And man, I tell you, I'd give my right arm to have that son of a bitch back. Actually, I had a 45 and I had a 9mm in a Mac 10. I had both of those, and that's back in the day when I was trading and selling stuff left and right, and they were everywhere and they were cheap, and I kicked myself in the butt when it was like the saying, oh, it's like a 55 Chevy, they're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And
so you had the regular and the Big Mac.
Yeah.
I did too. I had the same guns. Me and Brian must have been brothers.
We were gangsters because man, when you shot that thing, boy, I tell you one thing, it was unbelievable, and of course you had to be careful because that was like big money. Shooting 45s rounds was kind of crazy, you know.
Right.
But it was just hold on and squeeze the trigger.
Yeah, see, that looks kind of dopey like that. I'm glad they chopped it because that looks kind of dopey.
Looks real tall and real short.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's a milk truck.
Looks like it really needs a blower.
Why is it yellow if it's a milk truck? Weren't those usually like green and tan?
Well, it could have been repainted. But when I look at that symbol in the back, it makes it like it's some kind of utility truck or something.
Oh yeah, you might be right.
Can you put that into Google Images? They tell me that.
Hey, where's Siri? Ask her.
She's supposed to know.
All right, let me do some searching here. We're about to figure it out.
By the time we burned up all that time, all we had to do was just text Paul. That takes all the fun out of it, right?
It's probably a milk truck. There's a as soon as you Google search it, it comes up with what is this? There's this one, and then there's this one. Divco Milk had yellow and white trucks.
That looked a lot like a GMC grill to me, though. For what little bit I know about old trucks.
It does look like a GMC, don't it?
Yeah.
And then, but it's got a big Dodge thing on the fender.
That's right. They said it was a Dodge. Yeah, Paul said it was a Dodge.
Yeah, it says Dodge on the side of the hood. Let's see.
Yeah, because they didn't cut the side. They cut the top and down the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and then they had to change the windshield.
Yeah, the rake on the windshield. Well, you say he took 15 inches out.
Yeah. I think it's a milk truck. There's a whole bunch of different milk trucks from the 50s and 60s that have pretty much the same window and door arrangement, different chassis, different hoods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's to vent the milk. You don't want the milk to get too hot in there, so you got to vent it. I'm pretty smart.
Yeah, you're pretty smart, all right. We'll leave it at that.
Guess what I bought, Ray?
Oh, good. You got
Look
your
at that.
window tool. Nice.
Big old rivet gun.
Where'd
Came
you get
in
it from?
today. Amazon.
Okay. Cool.
I can't afford to call the tool guy.
Yeah.
I'm on a budget.
Are you using steel or aluminum rivets?
I don't know.
He was going to use rib nuts.
Rib nuts, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. All right.
What size you got there?
They gave me a whole bunch of different sizes: 5/16, 8mm,
Okay.
3/8.
You need a little divider box so you can separate
Yeah,
it.
10mm, 9mm.
Oh.
And what? 1/4 inch. What? I'm only gonna need 4.
Oh,
Quarter 20
Yeah.
is the most common size to use for just about
Which one?
anything.
Quarter.
Is that what you said? 1/4.
Yeah, quarter 20.
Quarter 20. Yep.
What I did is
1032s. So I was doing smaller stuff.
And maybe for holding on like a decorative panel, but for anything with some structure to it, you're going to want a beefier bolt.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm putting my mirrors on. I got mirrors off a newer school bus, the ones that hang out front. So I'm probably gonna go to bigger bolt because I think it's a lot of weight, hanging. So I got to drill some new
Well, there
holes.
is one thing about that. You will find a usage for that for more than one thing once you get that down.
Mhm.
A nut setter is really quite entertaining. You'll start putting it in all kinds of places.
Well, I seen when I was ordering it, I seen they use it for wood stuff and furniture and all kind of things.
Yeah.
I was kind of excited when I seen that. I was like, oh man, I can get loose.
For furniture, for wood, yeah. I mean, how's
Yeah.
because I mean, it squeezes like a pop rivet. So how's it working in wood?
It just expands in the hole.
That's what the picture showed.
Okay.
I ain't gonna argue with
just
it.
expands.
All right.
Yep. You can get deeper reach rivets and riv nuts too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they get the gripping portion is down lower. So
Usually most of the wood ones though have like a flat disc with like little nails that either you nail in or they have like a Chinese throwing star tips that are bent down, and you drill the hole and then you put it in there and then you smack it with a hammer to seat the where the thing is. Usually most wood ones. A lot of times that's
is that already painted orange?
Looks like a traffic light.
Yeah, so it sticks out pretty far. Wait, let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Is that school bus yellow or is that your sunset orange?
My
sunset.
Yep. So that's what I'm doing with those.
I pulled up to your house last week, Lewis. The first thing out of my mouth was, "You spent all that time and money painting it. It's still yellow."
It's not yellow, it's orange.
That's a light orange.
It changes colors when the sun hits it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
looks good.
I got the whole bus painted except the one side from the top rub rail up to the roof. I ran out of daylight, and then the next day it's cold. I gotta wait.
Yeah.
So I got
You
that
got a
one
buddy with a garage.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come over there, bro.
So you've been cutting wood like a beaver.
Yeah, man. I'm making shelves and cabinets and countertops.
Nice.
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, I'm gonna set it up with you, Tyler, to do my spray foam at the same day because I need it to be warm in there. Do spray foam, and then I can paint that one little section.
Yep.
It sucks, dude. Not having a garage, man, it sucks.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, that's why I said no matter what, I want to keep the shop building.
No, not having a garage you can put a bus in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a little above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got the diesel heater put in, so that's all done. I tapped the tank. Everything's working good.
Nice.
So yeah, now I can get in there and work without freezing to death.
Nice.
Oh, freezing to death. It's not even cold yet.
Man, I got sexy skin. You can't be putting sexy skin out in the cold.
We were at the cruise night the other night, and it was me and my buddy with his '67 Chevelle. We were the last two left, closing the place down as usual. It was dark out, 8 o'clock at night. Everybody left, so we're sitting right next to each other. We get in our cars. He fires up his, and he's got the dual quad tunnel ram, no chokes, no nothing. I was already telling him, I said, it gets much colder. I said, you're not going to be able to drive your car. What do you mean? I said, actually, under 40 degrees, the fuel isn't going to atomize. It's just going to come down and dump. I said, you're not going to. He's like, oh, no, I'll be all right. I'm like, maybe you want to do like an intake swap for the winter. Just throw a regular aluminum intake on with a Holly. No. I'll be okay. I said, okay, all right. Okay. So he's sitting there. He starts the car, and it sounds good. Of course, he's got to feather the gas because he has no chokes and no heat under the carburetors, And I start my car. I turn the key on, listen to that fuel pump, fire it right, lights right off. And he says, he goes, I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and warm up. I said, I'll see you. Put it in first. Took it off. I said, man, it's so cool having a fuel injection. You don't even have to worry about and Tyler, now to answer a question that I asked you a couple months ago about how if the car would sound different, it does sound different. It's actually, to me, quieter and more and smoother sounding, if that makes sense.
It's not working hard.
I think maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. But,
yeah. It's interesting. You can almost, like, when you're used to it, by ear, you can tell if a car is carbureted or fuel injected.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I could tell the difference now between my own car, what it was like before.
Yeah.
I know what it sounded like, and yeah, definitely, without a doubt. You're right. Yeah. So I entered the contest to win a new Sniper 2. Holly was running a contest on Instagram. So I said, yeah, man, I'll put that on another car. I'll do another build.
Right.
Actually, I'm thinking about, I think I'm going to start building my big block. I was going to put in a Nomad, but I think I'm going to do one of those, like, garbage can budget builds with like used parts and, except for like the important stuff like the bearings and the rings and all. So
there's a lot of people on YouTube doing that from eBay. They're only getting all the parts from eBay, used parts.
Yeah, I'd rather, I feel better just going with people I know.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, people are doing it.
I got to put a cat in one of my cars. It's needed it for years, and I've been skirting the inspection. And now my daughter came home with it the other night, and it was like blah, 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 blah. The cat actually, I guess, is a snout on it that's separated. So I drove it today. It sounds pretty cool. But so now I said, okay, now I got to get a cat. It'll solve two birds with one stone: fix the exhaust leak and fix the cat problem. But I'm looking and they're like, $800. Like, the freaking car isn't worth $800 for an cat. So then I look at the next level of cats was like $250 to $400, but they're only like 47 state legal. So I'm thinking, like, well, first of all, I want to know what that third state is, because California and New York are two of them. What's the other state that they can't send? Connecticut, probably. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, let's see. Who can I send a cat to that can send it back to me? So, yeah, Brian, I was thinking of you. So let's do that. And then I said, wait a minute, let me take one more step. And in my search string, I clicked the eBay link, and I found one for $150. It's probably coming from the jungles of China, and I don't give a shit. So I went with the $150 one.
Yeah. Yeah, just give me a heads up. Yesterday when I got my order, I go out and I look at the box and I picked it up and it had my name on it. It had my tracking and number and name, but it was from like Walgreens, and I'm like, called the wife. I said, did you order something online or something? And she's like, no. And I said, well, this is weird. And open it up, and there were 2 boxes in there of 250 gift cards.
Really?
Yeah. So the UPS guy, huh?
Did you try to activate one?
No, they're not activated. I mean, they haven't. They need to be. I mean, they got to be programmed or whatever. But I thought the funny part was, so I go onto the Facebook page in our city or town or whatever, and everybody's asking, I got this package and it's not mine. Is somebody missing a package? You know what I'm saying? So the UPS guy had a pretty bad day yesterday.
I bet.
But it had your name on it.
Yeah, well, it had not the big, but it had it was actually the only reason why. I always look just for there's a small little sticker that has the cracking from from Mako.
Yeah.
And that's what I look through, because if there's anything for one of the other girls, I just throw it in the house, And that's but when I turned it over, it didn't have a name on it. It just said direct shipment from, to Walgreens or whatever. And I was like, this is kind of weird. And so I had to call the UPS, and they said they'd send somebody else to pick it up.
Wow.
But I'm trying to find my package now. I'm sure Walgreens probably got a package and wonder why there's a whole bunch of sockets. That's where all the 10 millimeter sockets went for next week.
Right. So Justin, tell us about this AMC, because the color looks really cool. Really nice.
So yeah, it's a 74 Gremlin. We're doing it for a local couple. The lady that owns it, she actually had a Gremlin back in the day that was they painted that color. It's a 78 Trans Am blue.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just got that painted. We'll be sending the engine out pretty quick. It's got a V8.
304?
I think so.
Or 401.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not
being a Gremlin. It might be.
right. I don't know if it was a factory V8 car,
Okay.
but
Looks like a 283 in it.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be doing a little bit, Kragers and stuff like that. But
So
it's been pretty cool.
Kind of a mild build.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, we're going through the whole thing. I mean, it's full build as far as we did metal work, the body work. We'll detail the underside and the engine bay and all that good stuff too.
Nice.
But yeah, nothing too crazy. But that color's pretty dang cool.
It is. It really is. Especially put some nice bright work on there. It's going to look sharp with Craigers and all. Yeah, it'll look nice. Yeah. That's going to be cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you post some cool pictures of your car last week too. Parked out in the lot there. Hey, there he is.
There he.
It's
Yeah, a couple of them.
do 4 projects at once because I don't have enough to do.
One of my customers, I didn't get a picture of the motor, but he's put a LS in a BMW. Cut the roof off. It's his drifting car.
All right.
Smart man. Very smart man.
Yeah.
We got to be careful. We got hate for the last 2 LS swaps we did.
Yeah, well.
I'm fueled by haters.
Oh, I love it. We did this T-type. We just put a 454 LSX in, and there's like some guys legit arguing online, and it's great.
One second, the T-type of Buick? They upset because you took out that 6-cylinder.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course,
And
dude.
according to them, we also made it slower. 200 horse versus 630. I don't know, but whatever.
We were dumb.
It's probably lighter too.
Yeah,
Probably.
You altered time right there, taking that V6. How dare you?
I stepped on a butterfly. I did.
Man, it's never going to be the same. But some of those T-types were V8 cars, though, right? I mean,
I don't know. I know some Regals were.
Regals were. I don't think the T-type was always a 6 and with a turbo.
I had a neighbor that had a T. He had a Grand National, and he had a T-type, and I know the T-type was a V8. He bought them.
If it was a V8, what would it have been? It would have been like a 307, 305 or something like that. I don't know. It would have been a 350. What was Buick's? Yeah.
So those late 70s, early 80s cars, you'd be amazed at the amount of different engine options they could come with. I worked on a 77 Bonneville for a guy, and every time I look up something for it, it's like, oh, well, what motor did it have? Did it have a 350 Chevy, a 305 Chevy, a 455 Olds? Did it have a Buick motor? Did it have, there's like 11 different V8s that thing could have had.
Yeah.
And then once you figured out what motor it had, you got to figure out which wrenches you're using. Is it metric or American?
Yep.
Yeah, that was crazy back then. I remember when I worked in the auto parts store, it was the same thing, because somebody would call up like with a Delta 88 or something, and you had to ask, did it have a Pontiac motor or Oldsmobile motor or whatever. I mean, they all had.
No.
Yeah.
They were all crazy.
Well, the last video I did, I politely told people, hey, listen, if you're not going to buck up, you need to shut up about the CUDA, about the putting the LS in it or a Hemi. Because I pretty much was like, hey, listen, we got 8 Hemis. 8 LSs here. So if y'all willing to donate an engine, that'd be nice. But come time for us to put an engine in and we don't have a Hemi, you ain't got nothing to say.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
We will at least do a 440 cubic inch LS.
There you go.
I did like your 7.3 Godzilla idea.
That will just everybody.
That would break the internet.
Man, you have some hurt feelings, boy.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
fine. I won't put an LS in.
Ford fanboys.
I won't. Okay, fine. I won't. But I got this Godzilla sitting here.
Hey, let me say something real quick. Robin and Chris, you're welcome to come on screen, and Ed, you're welcome to come on screen. Let me know. I'll send you a link. Okay, back to the program.
The Tiki God in the house.
Terry, the Tiki God.
Getting after that Le Mans, aren't you, Terry?
I'm on it because you know what it is. I mean, while I'm here, the Le Mans is like, I got all the sheet metal and everything like that, and I figured, it's in one of my buddies, the guy 612, who makes those. They put the carbon fiber skin over a new Challenger, make it like a '69 Charger. Those guys are in my backyard, and they have a huge shop in the Bronx, right on the entrance off of the hutch, where you either go into the Bronx or you either go across the garage neck. He says, come on down, you can have your Le Mans here and you have room. So I've been working at it. And when I'm not down there, I'm back over in Ohio.
Are you doing a 70 CUDA, right?
I'm going to convert it to a 70.
Yeah, that's what I found yesterday.
Oh, nice.
AAR, there it is.
Yeah.
And I love those ARs.
See, if you put the LS in, you'll piss this group of guys off. See,
right.
It'll be fine.
They'll all be staring over top of you on that.
Yeah. Wait, is that the same?
I'm not scared. Not one of them. Not one of them's gonna throw bones, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They look harmless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
well,
they could look at the video and they could say, "Hey, Terry, we'll give you a Hemi." Yeah,
they could
always put that stripe on it. You gonna put that breakaway stripe?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the stripe. I just like the AAR CUDA. The car's gonna be dark. It's gonna probably be dark blue. So I just want that AAR CUDA sticking in the back. That badge. I just love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found the original set of, if you look at the grill on the AAR CUDA, they have like a chrome insert, a rectangle insert in the grill. I found one on eBay, and the guy was just like, these are original. They got the tabs and everything like that. If you're gonna have an AAR CUDA, you gotta have that. And I found them. I was like, oh man, this is great. So I bucked up. So we're gonna go all the way. The only difference is no vinyl roof. It's going to be a solid color. It's going to have the AR hood, and I don't want the bumper, the spoilerettes, if you call them, like the half spoilers that go on the side. I want a full front spoiler.
Could go with side pipes, like side exit.
I was thinking about that. I went back and forth. I'm going to have them going out the back, like out the back balance. But what we want to do is, there's a kit that AMD sells where if you look at the CUDAs, they have the bumper kind of coming out of the bumperettes. They not the bumperettes. What are they called? The two little bumpers.
The rear valve.
You have the big bumper, and you got the two little bumperettes. They're like molded into the back balance.
Right.
Okay.
There's a kit. There you go. Cut
out.
And there's a kit that make them straight, make it look really clean.
But
And
the
you have the two
AAR
pipes
was
sticking
known
out there.
for its one of the defining factors of an AAR is those side exhausts coming out in front of the rear wheels.
Yeah, I know.
That is one
I
of the
know.
defining factors of an AAR. Because if you look at the exhaust from underneath, it comes down, goes all the way back, and turns around, and then comes out. It's a really funky looking exhaust.
Hey, Lewis had an idea, and we could do this. Talk to me, Scott. Check this out. You remember you want those cutoffs?
Cutouts, yeah.
Maybe you can have the exhaust going out the back and cut off and go right there, like
Side pipes for the cutouts.
Or just hit the button and they just close, and now they go out. That's something I would consider.
I like that.
I know a guy.
Yeah, we know a bunch of guys. Yeah, I know a guy. I think we all know the same guy.
I'll tell you, I love cutouts, man. That's always been a dream, to pull up next to somebody talking trash and hit that switch.
Yes.
The
switch.
I was just talking to my buddy with the Chevelle the other night, and he had them on his car, and he says, "Yeah, he got rid of them." I said, "Shit, I would have bought them from you." But then I found out that with fuel injection, when you have an oxygen sensor, those cutouts have to be further back. They can't be up front, like right outside the headers, because then the O2 sensor sees unmetered air.
So that would be perfect, because you put them like if they're bungs in the headers.
Well, we're also going to be running Hawley, so that's wideband instead of narrowband.
Sure.
So that's not as persnickety too much. So general rule of thumb of the wideband is about 16 to 18 inches from the end of your pipe.
See, that's what we could do. So if that situation, like Lewis Lee says, someone rolls up, you could be like, hold on a sec, open up the side ports, but then at the same time be like, hold on a sec, I forgot something.
No, you're saying 16 to 18 inches for the cutouts.
From the end of the pipe.
It would be
for the cutout, right.
Yeah. So if you have just a dump right at your cutout, you've got to have your O2 sensor 16 to 18 inches further up from there.
Forward from that, right? Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think
the problem is a lot of guys are putting their cutout, within a few inches of their collector.
Right.
So that's where you run into problems, where it's going to read real funky when the cutout's open.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think the rule of thumb, though, is 24 inches. I think that's it might be a little bit more, but I think that's the what a lot of guys do.
I mean, with the carburetor, I would have dumped it right at the end of the header, just so it's essentially it's open headers. But
dump it right there, as far back as I can. Even if I have to go past and have to come back, I'll do that. But that door is long, so you figure I think it's 2 feet, no problem.
You
just dump it out right. Here's the header. Here's the header right here, and you got your little, O2. I want the cutout, like if this is the door now, like right there,
Yeah.
So that might work.
Jim is literally playing in traffic.
Yeah, he is.
He just sent the picture.
Commitment.
He just sent the picture where he's working tonight, and it's in traffic. But
traffic jam.
Yep.
No.
That's funny.
So I'm over looking at Robin's Facebook page, and she has a Hummer build that they're doing, I guess. It's pretty sweet. Or Daytona Artist Custom. Let's see. Here they go right now.
Hey.
What up, family?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Hi.
We're doing good. How about you guys?
Hey, listen, you guys got to come to SEMA at least one day. Just fly in and fly back out.
We thought about it.
No, they ain't going.
Oh, Chris, Robin. Oh.
We went. So we have our friend Alexander here from France. Alexander Danton with Danton Art Custom. And he's doing a build right here in Milwaukee. Well, we're in St. Paul, but relatively it's kind of right here, being Milwaukee is not very far away from us, but he's starting a Danton Arts Customs in Milwaukee, Danton Arts Custom USA. So kind of with the language barrier and everything, they weren't really sure about how all this worked. So they just attempted to build a car, and they think that they kind of enlisted us just in this past week to try to help them get them a spot at SEMA. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
So if that does happen, are you going to show up?
It would definitely make it give us a lot more reason to, because we've been, trying to be supportive of him and what he's doing. So not that we don't have reason to, we certainly do, but we would have to put a lot of other things aside. And
we just built that car and took it on the Rat Rod Magazine's tour for Rat Stock. So we spent a lot of funds that we shouldn't have spent there. Yeah. So we probably, we shouldn't go to SEMA, but you never know.
We won't.
I don't want to make y'all. I don't want to make y'all feel bad or anything like that, but y'all guys are on the list of why I want to go to SEMA. You guys are like who I look forward to seeing.
Now we feel bad. Yeah, that's building. It's craziness.
That thing is sweet.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's sick.
Yeah. It's a 6x6 Hellcat, and it's powered by a 6x6 Humvee powered by a Hellcat. done kind of
F1 style.
Wow,
it's huge.
Yeah, it is. It's low, but it's wide. Those Humvees were wide vehicles to begin with, but
yeah.
Wow,
man.
What about the rendering?
Well, I have the rendering, but he hasn't released the rendering yet.
Yeah, so
I don't know why he hasn't released the rendering yet, but he hasn't. But so I'm not going to release it because he hasn't. Yeah.
Where is he from?
France.
Venat, France. You can see on his page he actually lives in a castle in France that he's turned into a hot rod shop.
Oh wow!
Do you remember?
Nice.
Do any of you remember when the Hell Camino wouldn't start at SEMA?
Yeah.
And we had to,
so you're gonna have to get towed.
Yeah, by the guy in the Lamborghini, same guy.
Okay.
Wow.
So
what was the problem with that Hell Camino anyways when y'all had to get towed? That was kind of cool though. That y'all went through the whole Ignite.
Super cool.
It wasn't so cool for us. A little bit.
I know it sucked, but I was just like, you can't count them out.
It's the same problem that's going on today. I've got this heavy right foot, and I keep shearing the ring lands off on my pistons.
Gotta do it.
Nope. Enough said. You could have stopped when you said you have a heavy right foot. I was like, enough said.
He breaks his poise all the time.
Yeah.
Happens.
So
fun.
Let me make some calls. We might be able to get it in a booth outside somewhere.
Yeah, he's done with whatever he wants to. Well, he didn't understand how the Battle of the Builder works either. I think we have till tomorrow to register, and then like sometime next week where we can turn in to say that they have a spot. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. He came all the way from France, moved here he's been in town for what, 7 weeks now?
7 weeks.
What you're seeing there he's only 7 weeks into that build.
Wow.
But that's what you get when you're young,
right? And he got he brought over two guys from France with him to help do
but they just
parts of it, right? Not for the whole 7 weeks.
They just came this past week.
Yeah, but they'll be here for like 14 days or something, and then they go back.
Well, listen, I'm known for making events happen, so let's do some stuff. Call me tomorrow, right. and we'll try to get some stuff popping.
All right,
that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. I feel bad because, like I said, with the language barrier, I think that he kind of just didn't understand quite how it worked and whatever. But they are trying to establish themselves here in the States. So he's got Nicholas Pulver is his name. He owns Frenchy Exports, where he actually exports hot rod parts and vehicles to France for the hot rod industry over there. Mm-hmm. And that's who he's linked up with here in the United States, who actually owns Danton Arts Customs USA, so that they can build here too.
Okay. Oh, here's another family member popping in.
There he is.
All right.
How you doing?
We got a party
Hello.
now, baby.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got it. It's a party on. I was like, I got to get in because I know I'm not going to have any time from now until getting on the flight to SEMA. But I wanted to say hello to all you guys. I'm so looking forward to seeing a lot of you at SEMA this year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
know.
My brother's a tiki god
look
over
at me
there.
like
Oh,
that.
we're
I
going to
know.
rock it, man.
Hey, listen. We're only going. Me and Terry and Tyler. I got a bee in here.
Oh,
And Tyler, we're only going to be there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
okay.
All right.
I got to tell you,
Make a plan.
I'll tell you
let's
about
get
Monday
together.
night.
Monday night.
Monday night is an exciting thing going on. I'm going to be airbrushing live demonstrations at the Hogs and Heifers at the
Oh,
Brush
yeah.
Fest. Brush Fest is being put on by Chip Foose this year. It's commemorating Mike LaValle, the airbrush artist that's passed away.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be really cool, big auction. So that's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be hundreds there. So if you guys have any time, it's October 31st at 6 p.m. at the Hogs
I don't
and
get there
Heifers.
till 9.
Oh, you're not getting there till 9? He's got to be, man.
What time? It's Monday.
It's October 31st, Monday night, 6 p.m. at the Hogs and Heifers. It's the pre-SEMA party.
Yeah,
Right, that's awesome.
it is a great party. They do it every year, and every year they honor artists like that. It's really, really cool. It's a
Okay,
really
I'm
cool
there.
event. And lots of
Hey, Ed,
cars come around.
Do you have my crown, Ed?
I do not have your crown, no. And there's no way I'm even going to think about flying with that thing. No, but that is on my list to do, my friend. But I want to get together with you when we do that. I've got to do a welding hat for Terry, which is basically I'm going to make him the tiki god that I did on the side of that 74 Chevy van. And I'm going to make this whole entire helmet look like a tiki king, like he's carved in wood. So it's going to be fun. But yeah, so if you guys have the chance to get there, it's really going to be a big event.
Hey,
and of course, Chip Foose hosting it.
hey, if you do any murals with you need a male stripper, I'm willing to be the model.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just thinking. I don't know, Lou.
Hey, I lost 5 pounds, man. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, well that's good. That's good. I've been following.
Louis Lee shoehorned himself in a pair of Speedos.
Just not one Speedo, but a pair.
Wait.
I see the way you said that.
And I have matching furry flip flops.
The mental images are not good here.
Man, you're going furry on me?
Oh,
No.
did that bee get you? Is that bee
man.
stinging you? I mean,
I think I got him.
Jeez.
I don't know, man. Kind of worried me. Big guy like you, scared of a bee? Come on now.
Listen, I told you I have sexy skin and I can't take bee stings or cold weather.
That's fun.
Louis.
So Monday, I'm kind of shot. I don't get there until like 9:30. My flight lands at 9:30.
It'll still be rocking.
Yeah, usually I think it goes for about 4 to 6 hours. I think something like
It
that.
does, yeah. And
Yeah.
and there's a lot of cars that show up there.
All right, maybe we'll make it over. Where's it at?
Hogs
At
and
the Hog.
Heifers.
It's right in front of Hogs and Heifers. I believe they're going to be out front.
Okay.
I'm sure where that is. Where's the Hog and Heifer?
Downtown, like one
downtown.
block off of Fremont Street.
Fremont, yeah.
Oh, so there's gonna be some freakiness going down there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Terry, did you go down there?
And
with
it'll
us,
be
Jeff?
Halloween.
Yep.
I don't think I went with you, but I was down there. I was like, oh, I'm not in
Listen,
Kansas anymore.
Terry ducks out every time we go down there.
Yep.
He comes up missing.
He's
I'm just
a
party
sturdy cat.
Yeah,
It'll be
I was
okay.
with my
Terry.
people. I was walking around with like colored paint, butt naked.
Anything
Yes, it
goes
did.
in Vegas and it stays in Vegas. That's all there is to it.
I mean, hell, we were in that 55 listening to George. No, we weren't listening to George Benson. We weren't listening to George. That's the funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we were. So give me the night. That's what I'm talking
Give me
about.
the night, man. George
Give
Benson.
me the night.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try to make it down there.
I think this
Yeah,
is going to be
good
an
time.
epic event. SEMA is going to be jamming. From what I understand, and I've been looking on the boards and the different groups, and it looks like, Well, first off, you got Imagine Dragons going to be there
That's
Friday night and
amazing.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's cool.
The guy that is actually the connecting promoter to arrange that is a friend of mine, Brian Edmonston. He's going to be there. He's actually going to hang out with us. He did everything in the 80s. He booked all of the big bands, Metallica, the works. So I'm not going to be staying, and it bums me out because my wife, my daughter loves that band, but he's going to be hanging out with us. He's telling us that the place is super booked. Not to mention they've got the other race the next week, the next following Thursday, the Formula One, and they say they're already packed. So a lot of those people that have arrived early have decided they're going to come on like Thursday and Friday to SEMA. So we're going to have an epic level attendance.
Yeah, because I bet you almost all those F1 teams and stuff, they're going to be in town early.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you come in a couple days early to catch the SEMA action?
Yeah,
that's right.
We're kind of also thinking that's part of the reason why that guy's Hummer F1 project is going to go over so big, or we're hoping it's going to go over big for him anyway.
All right,
is Joe Mealy going to be there?
Yep. It's literally the whole team, man. Everybody. I've got I think a posse between Nelson and his team and everybody. I'm bringing 7 people myself. It's God. The Evo, obviously the Evo is going to be there. The people that built that, they're going to be there, and they're builders of many cars, so they're coming. Kroll's Customs did the final clear coat on it, so they have always had a car in every year. They've got 2 cars. All I know is there's more cars in the platinum lot and the silver. There are going to be more cars outside than there are inside. Yeah.
Nice.
And very unique builds too. Lots of wild and crazy, especially the rat rods. Lots of cool rat rods. Very exotic vehicles. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I can't wait. I'm ready to go right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Robin?
Which car is Evo? I'm remembering.
It's a 2012 Mitsubishi Evo Evolution. It's a Lancer. So
yes. Okay. Yep.
It was Mitsubishi's answer to all the other car, race rocket. Well, I guess the imports, and this one particularly. Oh my God, the stuff they did to this thing. It's about 575 horsepower to the wheels, and of course it's an all-wheel drive deal. So that's a lot of horse. It's tweaked. It's got roll bars that are custom painted to match the wheels. I mean, it's like dipped. Everything inside the car has been high-tech computerized. It communicates, talks with you. So it's got all the new high-tech stuff that you'd see in the newest cars. But it's a 2012. And then I muraled it, Fire and Ice Dragons. So it's got that Japanese flair, front, back, sides, the whole thing. And it's been fine. It was supposed to go last year, but, everything went to heck last year. So hoping, crossing our fingers, we don't have any last minute ridiculousness and it'll be still, pedal to the metal.
Right. Yeah, look at Chris is over sitting here, his hands are just ringing.
I think you guys can do it, man. Come hang out with us.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Here's a question. Chris, if y'all do go, are you gonna bring something?
No, we wouldn't be bringing anything.
Why wouldn't we?
Bring what?
Because so Nick, the same group that Alexander, the dancing group, they already told him they'd throw his car on the trailer too.
Right, but that car isn't a SEMA
we're not
car either.
Well, I know we're not putting anything in SEMA, but we could drive down, and bring it to the on the 31st down to Hogs and Heifers.
Yeah, we can bring it down the strip. Yeah, I don't know.
Do it.
Do it. Just pull the trigger.
We'll see what we can do to make it happen. See if we can make it happen. No promises, though.
Right. Yeah. It's Googling airfare now.
We understand.
He is.
So, Terry, you haven't made a decision on the engine if you're going to go Hemi or LS on the CUDA?
Yeah, we kind of did.
You did? What was the so this was a kind of a poll situation? You let the audience tell?
Well, it's going back and forth.
Hold on now. Do you have a official mandate to hold your piece?
No. It's still going back and forth. I put a video out the other day, and I pretty much, like I said, before you guys got on, I said in the video, hey, listen, we have in the garage shop probably about 7 or 8 LS engines. Here's your opportunity, because if you want to go and send one of those Hellcats, those 6.4s on over, the garage door is open. But I tell you, come time for us to put an engine in, if I don't see a Hellcat, I want to put an LS in here. So that was my nice way of saying, shut up.
Put up or shut up.
Because everyone's like, oh, put a Hellcat, you should do this. But then, okay, well, buck up the $12,000 for one.
Yeah.
All right, then keep your mouth quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my pretty nice way of saying that. Yeah,
Rob,
but we got an LS just ready to go.
I got something for you.
You do.
Our group has 2 extra rooms at a cheap price. They just told me today that they got 2 extra rooms.
2 extra rooms at a cheap
They're
price?
they're like 105, 115, somewhere in there a night.
Well, Chris is buying cheap airfare too.
Yeah, so if you need a room, let me know. I'll set you up tomorrow.
All right.
I'm pretty sure. I think we're talking the same person.
Yeah.
Nell?
Yeah. Nelson. He called me today and asked me if it knew anybody that needed 2 rooms. So he got 2 more rooms on his. I think he got what, 20 rooms?
I just talked to him yesterday, but I told him we weren't coming out. So.
Yeah, he has some extra room. So
you know what you got to do? You got to call him up and say, "Wait a minute."
This network ain't no joke. Playing in traffic, baby.
Now we just gotta find Alexander a spot in the show.
Yeah, I'll make some calls tomorrow. That thing's pretty big, though. How long is it?
I'll ask him to send me the measurement on it. It's I don't think they lengthened it, did they?
Yeah, I don't think it's any longer than stock. Than a stock one, because they shortened the cab of it and added that extra axle. But it's wide. It's barely going to fit on that over the deck trailer that they've got.
Yeah, it's just got to get up over the wheels.
That's pretty slick.
It's cool, right? Yeah.
I
was never a fan of the H2. It looked like a toaster.
Now I got a question. If anybody might know this, we got a question about can the public go to SEMA? This year they were talking about letting the public in. Did that go through?
I think only on Friday.
I think it's Friday they can, yeah.
Friday, because last year Friday, they let people in.
Last year was Friday, but I heard rumors that they were going to do it all week, but I don't know if.
I heard rumors that they're going to add a day or something, but for sure on Friday. But I don't know about the rest of the week.
All right, well, there you go.
Their website.
I think what it is, maybe if anything, they might do Thursday and Friday, but I mean Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think it's just going to be especially Monday.
I know you can go outside. You don't have to have a pass for outside, and there's a lot of stuff outside.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of fun stuff outside.
Yeah,
I think the outside is some of the, funnest. Honestly.
Yeah, I always choose outside. Every vehicle I've had over the years, it's always been outside. First off, the lighting, you can't get, assuming there's no bad weather, it's the best lighting for my purposes, which is the visual end of things,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Inside, it's a nightmare. You're taking pot luck whether you get the right angle. Sometimes the above lights, they just glare. So now you got to bring all your own lighting and all that stuff. But when you're outside, it's just perfect lighting all the time. It's great for the cameras when they try to film you. So as far as visual, it makes everything look perfect.
Listen, I'll never forget the first time I met you. When I walked up on the van, I'm like, man, that's a beautiful wrap. And as we were getting closer, I'm like, dude, that's not a wrap.
I know.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's when we first started talking. You said that to me, and I said, I know everybody's going up and picking at it, all at the corners, getting creeped. And I was saying, I got to put a sign up, and I did. I put a sign up to say this is not a wrap. They were actually, people were going over to the professionals. They had some company there that was a really high-end wrap company, and they kept getting hit up all day. Can you do that? Can you do that? And the guy's like, I can't do that. So the guy came over to me and he said, would you please put a sign? This is not a wrap, because I can't, I keep having to say no, and I don't like to have to say no to people, but we can't do this because it will never go around the body lines like be out of proportion and everything.
Yeah.
But
Right,
oh
when
yeah.
they stretch it.
And it was happening from professional painters. That's the thing that killed me. It was like, come on, guys, you do this for a living. You should be able to tell, that it's going into the corners. You ain't gonna get a wrap to do that,
Nope.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, Ed. You've been doing it at that level for so long. I went to go see when I came from from Ohio. I guess it was like a couple of months. Well, like last month, I stopped by his house, and this is the first time I'm actually seeing this van. And at one point, I was just like, "This is a wrap. This has got to be a wrap." But then I knew it wasn't. But that man,
incredible.
Like I said, pictures don't do that thing any justice,
Nope.
and it still looks good. He told me that he did it. How long ago did you do that paint job, Ed?
It was done in 2012.
Wow.
And I drove it 89,000 miles. It's been outside probably 6 months of the year. And it's absolutely amazing because, I mean, all the paints I've used over the years, this was done with EnviroBase, which is the waterborne by PPG. It was actually like only out a couple of years. They approached me. I made a deal with these guys at the chemist actually in Pittsburgh. And they said, we're going to work with you to see if we can experiment, to see how long we can go with this paint before we have to clear. They were going to give me this T490, which is an extender. I was experimenting basically with their paints because I had never believed in water-based, and I kind of was hoping something would come along. And so when we did it, he said, the only thing is you're going to need to be on the road with it. We need it out in the sun to see if it's got light fast, if it won't fade. And so the reds and the purples and all, that's why it was so many every color, because I had to push the colors. And I mean, here we are, what is this? 10, 11 years later, and it's still as vibrant as it was the day one. I mean, granted, I do have UV coating, but still, it's amazing.
Oh, UV coating.
I got the DC 4000 clear on it. That's the only thing we've had to redo. I did the re-clear on it in 2018, and that's the last time I've touched it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I was floored, and Ed told me the whole story.
Yeah, he gives you. That's the thing. He'll walk you around the van and give you the whole
walk around. There's like
narrative.
a whole story. It's like listening to a Rush song.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, Rush. Yeah, you got the red carpet treatment too. We rolled out the red paper on the driveway.
I was like, Ed, I can only stay for about 20 minutes. That's it. Next thing I know, my man had a feast, a spread out, and everything like that. He had literally a red carpet. A red carpet, like saying welcome Coverman. As soon as I walked in, the lights went out and Disco Ball came down and he was playing disco. I gotta post that. I got a video. I was like, something's gonna go down.
Oh yeah. And you went right with it, man. You got into the groove right away as soon as the music hit. I forget if
I got an afro. As soon as the music hits, especially disco, man, I gotta move it, I got issues.
That was a lot of fun.
We have a good time at SEMA this year because
this
year I don't have any major business to take care of, so I'm a little bit free. So I'm just gonna be wilding out.
Awesome.
Wilding out.
Yeah, because usually I'm boom, 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 got to do stuff. But
wow.
Yeah, this year.
Still think we got to kidnap Ray out there.
Yeah, Ray, come on, man, quit playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get him, put him on the plane and do like Mr. T and just kidnap his ass.
We got an extra room, right?
In the van.
Yeah.
Get the van.
Hey Ed, if I bring my 7th edition Birds of Paradise, would you sign it for me?
Absolutely. Don't go crazy telling all your friends though. But
No,
yes,
no,
for
no.
you. Yeah, because
Yeah.
That I doubt. It's hilarious, and I actually just said this to somebody. We're at I was at the Renaissance Fair, the conventions, and I expect it, right? But honest to God, when I'm at Carlisle, I'm at the Truck Nationals, or I'm at the Import Show, and I mean, I'm not even like advertising that I'm going to be there or anything, but I find that there's a lot of hot rodders and car builders who play the games, play the D&D and play the Magic the Gathering. And they're carrying the stuff in a backpack or they've got it in their car. And so they'll go, oh man, I got some old school shit there. Yeah, I got you. And it's the weirdest thing because they'll come over to the art on my van or wherever the heck I am at. And they'll say, this reminds me of something like, oh, it reminds me of Bolus or it reminds me of, or whatever. Yeah. And it's kind of funny because I just look at them, I go, yeah, that kind of would. I said, because I'm the guy that did those. And they go, no way, I'll be right back. And then they take off and they come back. And I wind up doing more card signings at car shows for game art than I do at the game shows. It's hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah. No, I run Birds of Paradise in one of my commander decks. So
excellent. Well, yeah, bring whatever cards you want, man. I'm there for you. I'll sign them up. I'll have my Sharpies.
That'll be great.
Well, Ed, listen, I know you came through Youngstown going places. You need to holler at us so we could go to Tyler's and feed you, because Tyler will cook for you quick.
Okay, so let's make that happen because I'm actually, when I get back from SEMA, I have to go through you over there, through Youngstown, because I have to go all the way down back to Ohio to pick up my camper and bring it back. Okay. So what I'd like to do is I usually stop right around Route 79, Mercer, and that area, what is it, Grove City?
Yeah, so the stop exit before us.
Is that what that is?
We're the last exit before Pennsylvania. We're right there.
Yeah, the Youngstown.
Yeah.
Well, give me your address, and I will make it a plan to absolutely stop by.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because whatever day I'm coming through, I'm stopping at a hotel anyway, so I'll just hit up. We'll come visit you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll lay out a spread. I'll smoke some pulled pork or something.
Oh,
yeah, Tyler don't play, boy.
Man, you're gonna get fat.
Look at Terry.
Yeah,
I could use.
Well, Terry bounced out a day early this past time. I couldn't bust out the New York strip on the smoker.
And you don't think I wanted to stay? I had to leave, man. I didn't want to miss out on that steak. You technically could have cooked it that night before, and I would have.
Well, I didn't have it yet. Remember, we were supposed to go to the butcher shop and get it, and then cook it.
That's technicalities, man. I mean, we put it on a bread. I would eat on the way home, man. And don't think I didn't forget about those Oreos, man. I expect them to be there.
Oh, they're still there.
They're still up on top of my fridge.
Hey, my wife was mad.
I need some Dr. Pepper. I'm good to go.
We gotta get you all out to come to Back to 50s out here in St. Paul.
Yeah, we like.
I have to make a trip out there because I gotta get my C10.
I was gonna say we'll have to hit you up and on our way to Arcos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We're.
He's still like 1,100 miles north of you.
Yeah, we're still 4 hours away from him.
Yep.
3.5 to 4 hours.
Yep, he's way up there.
Yeah.
Well,
he's like
next
Canada.
summer.
He's closer to the North Pole than he is to us.
Yeah, right. This next summer we're gonna be freed up a lot. We're gonna be doing a lot of traveling, so
yeah,
I'm sure we'll come through there.
Well, you should definitely come in June then, because you hit the Back to the 50s show. It's like it's about 13,000 cars, I believe. Is usually about what they get. Yeah, it's a big show.
Isn't that a similar time frame as when Arco puts on his big show? He's in June or July, isn't he?
No, he's in August, isn't he?
Oh, is it August?
I think they're about a month apart or so.
Yeah.
Yep. Right on.
Yeah, we sure. This summer's gonna be hot because I'm doing a lot more booking this year. I'm going to this year, so.
Great.
We're doing a lot of travel.
Yeah, so check out we did this last month. We did that tour with Rat Rod Magazine, and we did the Rat Stock event.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty. It was the first time they ever did that. It was at the Psycho Silo Saloon in Langley, Illinois. It was really a cool place, like a great big adult treehouse. It was a really cool show. And they're going to be doing a.
Remember that? I remember that show. Hold on. Is a TV show where a guy would build tree houses, build like real houses in trees?
That's kind of what this was like. I don't know. It's actually a silo. It had a couple airplanes that they've got launching. It's a bar. It's like a biker bar, I guess. It's out in Langley, Illinois. But we all traveled out there. I think we had like 130. No, it was like 108 rat rods that all drove out there from all over the country and met up out there. And then a whole bunch more met us once we got there. So
Oh,
That's where Paul. That's where Paul met you guys, right? Up there.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it was a lot of fun. It was a neat place. And then next year we're doing a build off with it. So there's gonna be people building cars to drive them out there. So should be fun.
Whereabouts in Minnesota is this?
Well, this what I was talking about is in Langley, Illinois, but the back to the 50s is right in St. Paul.
Right at the Minnesota
St.
State
Paul.
Fairgrounds.
Yep, it's
You
put
say
on by
back to the 50s. Is it mostly old school 50s, 60s, gasser type things?
It's only pre 63
and no Mustang.
and no Mustangs.
But it's put on by the Minnesota Street Rod Association. It's a big show. I mean,
No Mustangs. They sound like my kind of people.
no Mustang.
Well, no offense to anybody, but we don't have enough tow trucks to accept all the Mustangs.
Yeah.
And insurance for the crowds and stuff that gets up there.
That was a good one. Hey, Brian, did you hear that one? He said that's not enough
All
Hey,
right,
guys
I know
from
it's
2A1.
coming back my way.
I got a 50 squad that needs to be built.
Then maybe you should say no.
Chris Robin, how far are you guys from QA1?
Not very. In fact, his brother spent the last week
A
there.
couple hours.
Couple hours, yeah, not far.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to definitely make a trip up there next season, next summer or whatever, fall or whenever.
We'll meet you there.
Whenever the thaw is, because I know you guys are getting hammered with snow.
Yeah, no, we'll meet you there
No, definitely. Yeah.
down there.
What's wrong with Brian? Brian, did you hear that joke about the Mustang? That was really funny, don't you think?
It's hilarious.
That's okay, Brian. Ask him where his whole Camino is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he knows it's broke. It's in the trailer.
I can't say. I can't run. I don't have anything going on, so I just sit back and listen. So it's all right.
I feel that.
Yeah, the rare times he's always busting on me. He calls me up, tells me that he's got a Fiverr with an LS or something like that, and he's a little Hot Wheels. It's the most reliable car he got or something. Yeah, so don't let him fool you.
Don't let him fool you.
Hey Ed, where do you guys stand?
It's Circus with Nelson.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Oh man, we're gonna tear that place up.
Oh, we are going to tear that place up. They're going to kick us out. There will be no food at the buffets. We will wipe that out. Oh man. Evidently, there's shuttles too. He was telling me there's an easy, convenient shuttle. So.
Well, you know what? The Tesla thing isn't far from the hotel. You can walk like 2 blocks and you jump on the Tesla.
The Tesla thing?
And go to any of
That's
the
what I
buildings.
did every morning.
Yeah. It's nice.
How long was the wait?
Not long at all. You walk in and go down in the hole.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never waited more than 15 minutes, maybe.
Terry, you didn't ride it?
Never had Tesla. I didn't know where to go.
Listen, bro.
Listen, you gotta go with hang with the group instead of like sleeping in and then staying up late, doing your editing.
There you go. Tell him, Tyler. So listen, you catch the Tesla in the tunnel, and you go to any building you want to go to, and it brings you out right at the door.
See, I gotta get my McDonald's McMuffin and my orange juice, and I gotta walk with the people.
That's what we do. Yeah.
Yeah. You can
Be
still
with
do
the
that.
people.
You can still do that. But it's
You're
nice,
in a
man.
Tesla
It
tube.
drops you off
You're in
at
a
the
Tesla
door.
tube. We got like 2 people in the car. Get out of here.
No. Me and Johnny Bomer and his buddy was in it. It was 3 of us. It's pretty slick.
Yep.
Dude, you can't walk through that tunnel. I mean, the car is wall, like, you can't open the door when you're in the tunnel. Let me say that.
That's what you want. Yeah.
Dude.
I'd rather walk with the people.
No, man.
Walk with people.
Listen, you ain't a spring chicken no more. You better get on that Tesla so you can save some steps.
Yeah. All right, I'll get in the Tesla.
It's pretty slick. I guess they're going to do it all through Vegas.
That's what I heard. They're going to put them out everywhere.
Yeah. Elon
I'm
Musk.
okay with that.
Yeah, Elon Musk isn't playing.
Yep.
The Tesla.
Well,
the Tesla
it is
tunnel.
my bedtime, as you guys know.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce out as well.
I appreciate
Yeah,
everybody coming on, and like I said, you
Got a
guys,
little 9-year-old that needs daddy put him to sleep.
hey, you guys are family. Come on anytime you want to hang out.
Awesome.
Yeah, we finally got him out of the garage, and now that we got that car built.
You got to put a TV in the garage like Tyler.
Right.
Yeah.
No excuses.
No excuses. Just bring a laptop out there.
Right.
It's your job.
Sky Ty, do you need a microwave for your bus?
No.
He's trying to give away a
microwave. I gotta get rid of. Anyone want a microwave?
Put it on Facebook. Free to a good home. It'll be done in 20 minutes.
It's one of those. It's like maybe 6 months old, and and we got the kitchen redone, and I try to give it to Lewis, but he don't want it.
But hey, he did bring me a TV, a big TV. It's right here
with no
Bring
remote.
it to a domestic violence shelter.
Holy crap! I forgot the remote. I gotta get the remote. I'll bring you the remote next time.
I was gonna send you an envelope so you can send the remote. How you gonna give me a TV with no remote?
You need exercise to keep your sexiness.
Ain't that something I gotta get up and change the channel?
There was a time when you had to do that.
Hey, I used to have to hold the antenna. My mom was like, hold the antenna right there, don't move.
So you gotta get up every now and then. How do you expect to keep your Speedo bod that you were just talking about?
Hey, SEMA, I walked through SEMA, and that puts me back in the spot.
And the training starts going from the bus, sitting down, turn the TV station. That's where it starts, man.
You give a guy a gift and bring half of it.
It was pretty clear TV, though. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I started taking it back. I was like,
Yeah,
this
nice.
is a nice looking TV.
It's nice.
Well, just think you'll get another gift when he comes to visit you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Make sure it got batteries in it. Good batteries.
Well, he'll bring the batteries the third time. Don't worry.
Right.
I'm gonna have the batteries with the acid on the side and everything like that, where it's all crystallized. I'm like, here you go. It worked last time.
We hooked it up in the bus when he was here. I was like, is this a smart TV? I don't want a TV if it ain't a smart TV.
Take it back.
No, it's a dumb one.
Hey, I'm grateful, believe me.
Nah, I know you are, man. Like I said, I couldn't figure it. I mean, I was like, yo, Lewis, I got this TV because, I upgraded a little. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. It's like too big for like the kitchen and too small for the living room. It was like that. I don't know how many inches. How many inches 55. Is that TV? Is it really?
Yeah.
I gave you 55-inch TV?
Yeah, man.
No.
No, you can't have it back.
No Indian TV.
So listen, it's going in my cabinet. I'm building a cabinet this weekend. So it's going to motorize out from under the cabinet. So that'll be on YouTube pretty quick.
I think Terry should drive up there and sit outside the window and flicks the channel around when you're trying to watch something. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah,
you think I'm not going to? You think I'm not going to? That's why you don't have the remote.
I know that remote will be a lot more valuable once that cabinet's built, though.
Yeah. I'll be like, Lewis, I thought about sending the remote, but I think I'm gonna hold on to it for until further notice. This little remote right here.
Hey, I told you
it's around here somewhere. Friend. I don't know where it is.
I got a hacker friend.
Gee, it would suck if I threw it out, wouldn't it?
I got a hacker buddy. We had that bus wired up. It'll do everything automated. Oh, I got.
But seriously, do me a favor. Let me know what type of TV it is, because I don't know. I don't want to send you the wrong remote.
JVC.
Is JVC?
Yeah. So I got Alexa, and she's my assistant. So if I tell her to turn the TV, she'll turn the TV. Right, Alexa?
Yeah, Lewis loves his Alexa. I'm on the phone with him. Alexa, music off. I'm like, this guy, Alexa.
You're gonna wake up our bee on the counter.
Alexa, play old school hip hop.
No, she can't hear you.
Thank goodness.
Her and I fight. We fight.
Yeah.
We have some throwdowns. He's got video.
I do.
Yeah, sometimes they get rogue. All right, guys, I'm out.
All right.
See you, man.
Have a great night, guys.
Next week.
See you later. Maybe see you at SEMA.
You will?
Hopefully.
Stay on them.
It's
Stay on
supposed to
them.
be nice to see you guys.
All right. Love y'all.
But
Bye.
I'm gonna head off.
Bye.
I'm gonna head off myself. Got to put this little boy to bed.
Night, guys.
All right.
We'll see you.
Okay.
Good night.
Dropping
Take care, everyone.
See you, Terry.
There
Dropping.
goes another one.
Tick tock.
There we go. Everybody just got bigger.
Cleared house.
Clear house.
Wow. It was a busy night.
That was.
Yeesh. Yahoo. Oh, man. I tell you.
Yep.
So, Brian, has stuff, are people still working down there by you or what? It's like,
I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that.
I mean, the
It's-
government didn't shut down, so why is it so quiet?
I have no idea.
What the hell's going on, man?
I literally, yesterday, I walked into a shop, and this is the owner of the shop chipping golf balls around in the shop.
Wow.
He had 2 boxes. I mean, they were pretty big boxes. I mean, they were like foot by foot square boxes, and about 8 inches high or whatever. And he had 2 or 3 of those laying in one end of the shop, and he was at the other end with he had I think it was a piece of carpet laying there, and he was chipping balls across the shop.
Were the mechanics in the shop?
Yeah,
What were they doing?
sitting there on their phones.
Wow.
I mean, it's I mean, I've gone through some crazy times, but this is kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
And there's tons of cars on the road. There's people crashing shit. Stuff
Every day.
blowing up all over the place. Things on fire. People driving through buildings. You name it. There's all kinds of stuff going on, and these shops are empty.
I know it's busy up here. You know, the shops are working. There's stuff everywhere. Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. I was in my Tesla shop, and there was one thing. What's the one thing that you would never, ever expect to see? What type of liquid all over the floor in a battery, an electric shop like that?
Gasoline,
Oh.
probably.
Coolant.
Oh, I thought motor oil. Okay.
I cannot believe how much coolant is laying on the floor in a Tesla shop.
And where's that coming from?
From the batteries. All the batteries are replacing.
Oh, and they're cooled. Wow.
And they actually are cooled from air, coolant, and from the AC.
Wow.
All that's running through those batteries underneath the car.
Wow.
And I thought this was actually, I'll probably get banned now if anybody finds out, but they probably don't like. But I tell you, where did that thing go? I thought it was kind of interesting seeing. Oh, I didn't save it. I save everything. Come on. Here. That right there. Let me see if I can get it angle right. That's the whole rear unit with motor and transformer. They dropped the whole subframe out with the motor and diff and axles. And then they pull the battery out of the car.
Wow.
So there's all that laying around.
Do you know what a battery replacement costs?
I know, but it's amazing.
Too much.
Yeah, a lot of it's under warranty. I mean, a lot of these things it's under warranty. So I don't know. Actually, I'll probably ask the guy. I go in there, and it's the first time I went in, I saw that like outside they had 1, 2, 3. It was 4 across and 3 high. But these batteries are in these, crates. They're over 2,000 pounds. They got to drive around with a forklift. The battery pack, 2,000 pounds.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's why I like my car. Battery replacement costs like $150, and I can do it myself.
Yeah.
I don't need a forklift.
So, but I was funny. I went by, I saw, and there was like 12 batteries out there, I guess, or 13 batteries. And the next week, I came in, and there was about 13, 14 batteries again, but they were in a different spot. They had moved a little bit. And I asked the guy, I said, "What, you just moved those batteries?" He goes, "Oh, that's our new load for the week." And I said, "Your new load for the week?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, that's all we do is put batteries in." So,
wow.
It's amazing. Amazing. And then, of course, go over, and they got these, it's pretty neat. They got the benches with the ground straps on them. They ground themselves because they have like a, I don't know what it's called, but like some chunk of the computer, for the big screen in the car, they need to take that all apart and put this piece in, because it doesn't, it's, old technology and doesn't register fast enough or pixelate fast. I don't know. It's just amazing watching these guys, and every car, there's 2 guys with 2 laptops. They just sit in there all day in the car downloading stuff and uploading stuff to the car. It's really kind of weird. Kind of weird seeing all that. So it's definitely interesting, but I would have never, ever, ever imagined antifreeze all over the place. So that was my fun-filled excitement for the week, seeing that. But other than that, Ray, I don't know how to answer that because it's dead. It's quiet. Very, very quiet. So I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. Try not to be superstitious, but with the full moon and Friday the 13th tomorrow, I just might stay home. I just might stay home. I don't know. I don't know.
2019.
So,
I'm trying to find a picture. I'm not being successful. August.
It's there somewhere.
it's there somewhere. What kind of picture, Ray?
When I went to the Tesla dealership, I'm trying to remember, like, what year was it? When was that?
That was
Because I took some pictures inside the dealership, and one of them was of the crates of batteries.
I remember that. I can't remember when that was. That
It's a few years ago.
Was it right before COVID or right after?
I think it was.
I thought it was like 19, sometime in 19.
I started in the folder. I started in the 2019 folder, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah?
Exactly where I started. But I don't know. I don't know if I pulled the pictures out. What I do is every month I take the pictures off my phone. I back up the phone, but then I put the pictures back. I save them on my computer too. and I should take them from there and file them on in folders, but I obviously don't always get around to doing it.
Yeah, that's my problem. I say I'm gonna make a file, and I make the file, but I never put the pictures in.
Well, they're there, they're there.
But you did it though.
It's close. I mean,
it's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. It's something to do when I retire. I don't know. I mean,
No, this gets overwhelming. It really does.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. Tell me about it, especially. And I'm not even, I even give myself a hard time because I always say I should take more pictures. That was like when I fixed the lights on the tool truck.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was like, oh, you know what? Before I do this, Ray would be really proud of me if I take pictures. So, I took the one picture of the broken wire, where I found the broken wire and where the guy didn't use a weather pack. And of course, I'm like, okay. And I go and cut and get a weather pack and heat shrink, and I put it all together, and I get my 45-year-old heat gun from Sears, Craftsman, and I get the job all done, and I'm like, you big dummy, you didn't take any pictures of anything after that. And of course, then I dropped the heat gun and I broke it, and now I don't have a heat gun. But hopefully, I think my dad bought 2 of them back in the day. I might have one at my mom's house. And then I gave Ray a hard time where maybe I'll buy a battery powered heat gun.
No.
Why this way? But Ray, I won't be tied to the house or to an extension cord. I can go anywhere with my heat gun. I can roam the streets.
Just roam the streets
with my heat gun.
Hey, you cold? Here, hold on.
Yeah, are you cold? That's right. Well, hey, you saying that, I've actually had guys during winter come out and say, hey, do you have a heat gun? And I'm like, yeah, here. They buy it, and then when I take the receipt into the shop, they literally have plugged it in, and they're standing over top, having the air blow
warming their hands.
Like, seriously? But I don't know. I guess it works.
I probably would. I haven't tried it, but
no, I know what happens, Brian. Because it happens to me all the time. I'll start working on something, and you'll be in the middle of working on it, and then like the last thing you can do is stop and take pictures. And like sometimes I'll actually be halfway through something and say, oh, I should have took a picture, and I'll go back and stage a picture.
Yeah,
looks like it was earlier, just to kind of have continuity, because I know if I'm going to post it, I want to do that. But yeah, so it's hard. You in the moment, you're working, and it's hard to continue to.
Yeah, like I said, it's really, really difficult. And then I said, oh well, I'll stage it, or I'll make it, or I'll do something. And of course, next thing you know, 20 minutes later, you're off doing something else, and you're like, well, I got at least one picture. I mean,
right.
It's a start.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not really good at that whole picture taking.
Focused on the work.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
It's you.
Yeah.
Where's them?
Then the guys in video all the time. That's even harder. To have a video camera, and I don't know.
Yeah, I same thing. I'd love to get into like some video stuff, but like that's a lot of time.
From what I understand, it's more the editing than anything.
That too.
And you have to be very fluid and with the editing software. You gotta. It takes a while to get used to that, and so that's where. That's where all the work happens. But the thing is, I know with stuff we've done, even with the radio show, a lot of times you can train yourself. You learn to need less editing because you think about stuff before you do it,
Right.
and this way you kind of self edit. I learned that from photography. Like I would crop in the camera. I would do a lot of the editing in the camera just by setting up the image right the first time, so I didn't have to screw with it later. And it's just kind of you condition yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're kind of thinking about that stuff. That was when I did the photo shoot for the PT Cruiser. That was one of the things I was trying to do, like pay attention to the picture I'm taking, and so that way it's just a picture. I don't have to do much editing.
Right. Oh, I think I found something. You know what? Yeah, I don't have it. I got the picture of the Tesla shop. I don't have the picture of the batteries. I thought I did. I was trying to. They really didn't want me taking pictures. That was the thing. Yeah, I got a picture of the shop.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
All the secrets. They don't want you to let out the secrets.
Yeah.
We did that back when I was in college. I worked at a landscape yard, and we had a portable concrete crusher, and we went and did a job on the at the Chelsea Proving Grounds over here in Michigan for Chrysler. And this is where they're testing all their new cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And literally, you get in the gate and they take your phones.
Yeah.
You don't even get anything out past that gate. And there was it's off in the woods kind of, but not really. But we were at an entrance to their big testing track.
Right.
And there was literally a security guard standing there for the entire 12 hours we were working there.
That's like this past summer. I was down in North Carolina where my daughter is, and we saw this church that kind of wrapped around the property, and they call it something. They gave it like a Disney reference, the Crystal Palace or something, whatever. It's a beautiful building. So the last day we were there, my wife and myself, my daughter, we stopped in. I said, let's go in, because I know they do daycare in there, so it's open. And I asked this, if I could see the inside. And the guy was cool. Security guard was cool. Let us go. So we're looking at the sacristy. They went into the main chapel. And this is like being in Radio City Music Hall. All of the floor seats, everything wrapped around, and there was a balcony that wrapped around. And when you walked inside, it was acoustically dead. It was like walking into a recording studio. It was silent. I said, man, and you're looking down at this huge stage with this gigantic pipe organ that took up the center of the whole stack of the building with separate pipes all over the place. I'm like, oh man, I want to hear Ozzy Osbourne. And there's a drum set up there and a piano and all. So I'm taking some pictures and, thinking, okay, we're up there. And I walk down. I'm getting some close-up shots. I'm like, you know what? I climb the steps. I'm up on the stage now, and I'm taking pictures. And next thing you know, someone goes through the door. You're not allowed on the stage. I'm like, shit, security cameras. They were watching me the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Take a few more. Okay.
I'm getting down.
Yeah, I'm done. Like, oh man. But yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So I gotta tell you, there was the kind of funniest thing. I guess these guys that I know now, Cruise Night, they've been following me on social media, and so you see what I'm up to. We pull in there on Monday night, and I said, okay, I told my friend Kevin, here's the big chance. I said, push the button, man, pop the trunk on my car. So he didn't do it, but I did. These guys came around. They were so interested. They flocked around the back of the car to see this trunk release. And I was like, what are you going to see? It's a latch, and it's inside the trunk. All you're going to really see is the extra, the winding of the hole that I made and the wire. But they were so interested in seeing this power trunk release. They're like, "Why, you really put it in?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, you saw the pictures of it, didn't you?" You think I was staging it? They're like, "Of course I really put it in." And I was like, "This is like the subject of the night here, like a power trunk release? You got to be kidding me!" But they seem to be very interested in it. So, like, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. So I'm seriously thinking about tinting my windows.
Really?
Yeah, because I was talking to my buddy with the Chevelle. Now he's got a black '67 Chevelle with a red interior, and it sits a little higher than my car. He's got the tunnel ram with the dual quads, no hood, and I told him, you got to tint your windows red, that like rose-colored red. I said, because you got that red interior. I said, red on the black is gonna look hot.
Yeah,
that would be good.
So are you gonna do the yellow or gold on? I mean, yellow.
Well, that's what I said. I've been toying with the idea for my own car, and he says, "Well, what color?" And I said, "Well, like yellow, but I don't want to go light because I'm afraid it'll act like a magnifier in the summer." So I was thinking maybe like an amber, something a little darker. But I don't want it to just blend into the car either. That's the thing, the car is gold, so I guess I got to get some samples and see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did find a magazine. I was looking for some stuff. It was cool, man. Clean out a closet in your house, and you'll find the coolest shit. So I cleaned out my bedroom closet. I found all sorts of cool shit. And one of the things I found was a Hot Rod magazine from '95, and on the cover is a '65 GTO in bright gold.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the color I painted my car. It's like, look at this. So I'm showing it to the guys at the cruise, and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool. How'd you get your car on the cover of Hot Rod?" It's not mine. I said, they were actually doing an article about custom paint. I said I saved it because I thought it was cool looking.
It's funny you're talking about cleaning out. I cleaned out, and I came across. I guess I have a shit ton of these things. I never realized, but headlight, and it has a yellow H4 in it.
Oh yeah, cool.
This is what I used to have behind the grill on the Mustang.
Were those the airplane lights?
Yeah. Well, no, these were not. These are flat. These are a motorcycle because they don't have the cup, the holes.
Right.
Well, this is a motorcycle too. It actually says motorcycle on it.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I had just went through and got all of my bulbs and headlights together and boxed up, and then I came across another whole see, here's this is a regular, but I came across about 8 more boxes of bulbs.
Nice.
I don't know if any of these are yellow. Let's see. No, these are all clear. But these are all the these are 9100s, and but I was like, man, I just got all this stuff cleaned up and put away, and I cleaned out one section, and of course I find more.
Listen, yesterday I'm sitting out there in the garage, and I'm trying to clean up stuff too, and I found I did a little wiring project, and I found another organizer. I'm like, what the hell is that? That's not one of mine. I forgot my neighbor across the street had given it to me before he moved. He was cleaning out the garage. I had a bunch of, a lot of, there were butt connectors, ring connectors, spade connectors, and there's a bunch of fuses and fuse holders and all. So what I did is I took all the connectors out, and I pulled my bigger assortments out, and I sorted them all out, the butt connectors and the spades and the rings and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm with the fuses, and they're glass fuses. So I happen to have in my cabinet, it was the glass fuse holder that was from a gas station. It's the actual plastic.
Oh, yeah.
And all the fuses, the boxes go in there. So now I'm looking at these fuses, and I'm opening up. Okay, there's different ones in the box. I'm sorting them out on the bench, and next thing you know, I sat there sorting fuses and putting them into these slots in the box for like an hour and a half. And I'm thinking, like, man, people would think I was crazy if they came by and saw me doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna put it back in the cabinet, and I need 3 different fuses for anything I do. So, but you talk about taking the pictures, Brian, right? One of the things I did do before Monday night's cruise, I wanted to readjust my headlights because I knew that they were out. And I have a device I bought from J.C. Whitney, I don't know, 30 years ago. It's a plastic cup. It's got it's got one fixed and two expanding feet on top. So you expand the feet, you lay it on the ground in front of the car, and then you adjust the level so the bubble level is in the middle of its range. Then you put it on the headlight, and that's what you need those little glass tits for, because you put it on you and you tighten the feet, and then with the bubble, you adjust your up and down of the headlight. It doesn't account for right or left, only up and down.
Yeah.
So I saw that I was out, so I did all the lights. I had to take the headlight rings off and all, but I did the highs and the lows. So I got the pictures of adjusting them, which is only a couple of pictures. It's not much to show. And what I meant to do when I left the cruise night, I meant to take a picture with the headlights on
before and after.
And I never took the picture. I got home the next day and I realized I wanted to post it. I was like, oh, I never took the picture with the headlights on. And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Dope. So yeah.
You know, I'd like I said that one of my big things, or one of the things that I've been really trying, is just I've got stuff scattered all over the place. I mean, I got whatever it is, just like the fuse thing, fuses. All I got a bag full over here, a box full over here, and I figured just get all that stuff together, get it all somewhat labeled or put it in one place so I can find it, because that's what drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can't find it's just like the time about the grease gun. I needed a grease gun for the riding lawnmower, to do the bearings in the deck.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not buying another grease gun. I've got like 6 of them, and they're all over the place, and it's just like I said, I just looked through another box I went through all my electrical connectors.
Okay.
This is, inline for like an inline fuse.
Right.
And I was like, I keep finding stuff like this, and I know for a fact if I go up into the kitchen and open up the kitchen junk drawer, there's probably about 3 of them, sitting in there. My wife did the laundry. Did the laundry. What was it, last weekend or the weekend before? And she comes down with this handful of, clips and nuts and bolts. And she goes, "Is this stuff important?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I got to put that in its spot." And
we used to do a segment on the show called "What's in Joe's Pocket."
Yeah.
And I would just tell Joe, like anytime, "Okay, Joe, empty your front right pocket right now on the counter," and he would, and we would inventory his pocket. It'd be like a test clip, a jumper wire, a fuse, a penny, a piece of gum, and like a microchip or something. We're like, okay, we'll just see what's in your pocket.
That's well, I'm super bad at that. I walk, like I said, me walking the streets, I find all kinds of stuff, and I'll like pick it up, stick it in my pocket, and it's amazing what you come home with.
Speaking of fuses, I have all those glass fuses in that holder, but I had nowhere to put, I have those the little tins of the blade fuses. And I always forget. I think the little tiny ones, the mini ones, are the ATAs.
Yeah.
And the regular size one, I forget what they call those. I never remember.
ATCs.
ATC. Okay, so I have those in the cabinet. I have there's little slots, little rods so I have them stuck between there. And then a friend of mine gave me a mother load. He gave me a plastic bin, a plastic assortment of the ceramic fuses that my Fiat uses.
Oh, the German,
that's fine. And so I have like a whole assortment of those, in all different colors. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I got to remember. I got to keep these here so I remember where they are.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's like I said. That's I did that. I'm in the same. Unfortunately, pretty typical of me. The same thing I'm doing in the garage, I am now doing in the tool truck again.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, I went through 3 of my organizers, on the tool truck, and it's like getting I had the same problem where all the fuses for the meters were either in this drawer or that drawer, and I got them all, put them in packing tray, in those tray cases,
Right.
and like I said, it's just the clips for the end of the anvils on the impacts.
Yeah.
It never made sense. Somebody would say, I said, I got to go to this, walk halfway down the truck and go through this drawer for a 3/8, but I had the 1/2 inch over here, it's just, and a lot of that problem came about when I got the new tool truck from the old tool truck, because when I moved everything over, I kept saying, "Oh, you're going to lay it all out," and it just got thrown in the truck, and wherever it landed was pretty much home for it.
Yeah.
And so now just trying to.
Well, now the problem is if you move it and organize it, you won't find it.
Well, that's what I'm having kind of a. I have a. We joked about it once before. That guy from what was that show? The guys that did the signs to the shit.
Mythbusters.
Yeah, Mythbusters. That guy with the gray. I mean, with the curly hair, or the
Adam Savage.
Yeah. Because I watch him on.
He's got his own show now. Yeah.
Yeah, I watch his on his Instagram or his YouTube channel.
Right.
And he'll it's whatever it is. I think today in the shop I want to build a new rack for my hammers or something. And he goes through, and he's got a little shop, and it's just cram packed with, all the stuff that he builds. It's really, but I could not when the day that he built. He made these metal drawers for a extension to his toolbox, thing. And it was like machinists for his dies or whatever. It was one like those, like on the small drawers, he made. And he got it all put in, and then he grabbed that Sharpie and started writing. And then I realized even on his toolbox, he's got it all written out, everything written on the face of the drawer. And I'm like, that's what I need to do, because I can't find half the stuff, because I got 3 toolboxes full of stuff, but I just couldn't bring myself to write on the front of the drawer like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe when I get a little older and more senile.
See, in the garage, actually at the shop too, I have these. It's a metal bin with plastic drawers, and I just stack them like 3 or 4 high. So there's a lot of drawers, and you can label those. They're plastic drawers, so you can label those with whatever you're gonna stick in. That helps out a lot. That's a good way of doing things, but you need the space for those bins.
Yeah, but I do have a. I got 2 of them actually. What are they called? A tag. Makes a tag, or what?
A P-Touch?
No,
label maker.
A label maker. And I've got 2 of them, and I've thought, well, maybe I'll just make a label maker, because it's got a little sticky, and just put it in the corner of the box or something with the drawer, so I know.
Yeah, they don't always stay stuck. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. I've got I've done the magnetic ones like this.
I have some of those on my toolbox now. Yeah,
like that.
Right.
And it's okay, but they don't. I mean, even these don't. they don't stay where I put them.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll slide down or they move or again.
Screw 'em on.
Yeah, screw them on. And I don't like, and they're pretty big. I don't really care for them that way. And I know Snappy, and we have a company. They make one that has little pictures, little hieroglyphics, that stick on. And I've tried those, and I didn't like the way they looked. And so it's kind of, I don't know what I want to do.
I just, I thought I put a post up on this. This one's recent. Where's my phone from? I just did this. 23. Not there. We were just talking about it. And it's funny that the labels I was using, the stick-on labels I was using for my sockets from that company.
Yeah.
I wrote to them because I had their email address, and they didn't get back to me. I think they sold off the company. I think that they.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's somebody else who's selling their stuff because they didn't reply to me. So I got a feeling. And I saw something. I was looking them up. I think I found a link that took me to somebody else. So I think they might have sold off the company. But you know what? This is too cool.
I've got, I did this one here, and this has been on for a while. I can't even get it off, but this is one of the label makers that one of them I have, but that's the label.
Right.
And I stuck it on and it hasn't moved it's been pretty, and I can actually kind of read it. That's another problem. It's either too big because, like I said, this, like that one that I just showed you. That's just so big on the one drawer.
Right. Well, then again, bigger is sometimes better. All right.
So,
I just found what I was looking for. Well, one of the things I'm looking for here. All right. This is the pipe organ center stage in that church.
Wow.
Now, is that a pipe organ or is that a pipe organ?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
So here it is. I'm standing all the way back, and this is the organ. It's like, oh
wow.
Crap. It's just amazing. And there's the drum set behind the player. That's where I got nailed because I was up on the stage.
Yeah, it's like, what is that, behind bulletproof glass or something?
Well, they do that a lot. And look at this. They had these sticking out of the walls with these pipes shooting out like zoomies.
Yeah.
I was like, man. That's
wow.
Up here, it's just like they project. I'd love to hear this thing play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a house on the way back. Yeah, that's unbelievable. But still,
wow, that's insane.
I was looking for something else. I will find it maybe because I'm getting closer. But yeah, I mean, I told the story before about my stupid reamer, how I used to have it hanging on the pegboard, and I always knew where it was. And then one day I said, why is this on the pegboard? This should be in the toolbox with the drill bits and the drilling stuff. And I put it in there, and then next time I went looking for it, I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And I'm tearing the place apart. Why? Because I moved it.
Yeah.
So I moved it back. I'm not going to pinpoint. So yeah, because that's where I would look for it. Okay, this is the okay. See, these here are the bigger ones that I'm using.
Yeah.
You know, and it is pretty big. You know.
Yeah. Are those magnets?
Those are magnets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then down on the screwdrivers. But and there's the record store. So yeah, there's all sorts of different things. But usually the stuff in the toolbox doesn't change, so I'm not really worried about that. But I mean,
and then of course I'd love to. Of course we have the stainless steel, not stainless steel. They're aluminum trim rings. I mean the for the handles are aluminum. So I would like how you have it on yours, where they're sitting on top. Of the
right.
So they're sitting on top, but being aluminum, the magnet doesn't stick.
Now at the shop, the Craftsman toolbox I have on the shop, the drawers close different, so I had to put them on the face of the drawers.
Yeah.
But the overhang of the drawer kind of hides it. So, but you know what? I don't know. It's not that big of a deal, really. I don't know. I tell you what. One thing I did. While I was taking that master cylinder off today, I brought my Milwaukee ratchet with me, the battery one. But I said, you know what? Let me take out the good old pneumatic air ratchet. And I was like, so the one guy came over. I called the one guy over as he's walking over. He's like, I see him looking like, what is that? And I'm hitting the button. I was like, you haven't heard that sound before, have you? He goes, oh, what is that? What is that? I'm like, look. And he's looking at me like, what is that? I was like, dude, it's an air ratchet. He's like, whoa, they make those now? I'm like, yeah, they make them now.
Yeah, they make them now.
I said there was so much battery, so much influx of battery tools. The pneumatic world replied with their own air ratchet. I said, can you believe that? It's funny how people just missed whole decades of tools.
Yeah.
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 And it's funny because, you have guys, there's certain tools that are air, and then there's certain tools that are battery.
Oh, okay.
And that's what and that's what they use. And
you see trends?
I just see, it's like I say, you walk into a shop and the guy goes, he goes, oh, I need a half-inch impact today. And I said, oh, I'm out of the battery. He goes, no, I don't mess with that on that. I need an air.
Right.
And then, or it's like a drill. I had a guy said, I need a drill. And I said, yeah, I got a battery one. He goes, no, I want an air. And there's just certain things that, and I was like, well, I said, well, I can order one up, but I got a battery one. What's wrong, dude? He goes, there's just times that, you just got to have that. Air will not fail you.
I'll tell you something. I have, I think, 3 of them. I've never really warmed up fully to the air drill. I just don't like it.
Huh.
What about you, Justin? You use one?
You've used them a couple times. Most of the time, I would go for the battery. Just that's what I got handy.
Yeah. I just find having a drill, especially a battery-powered uncorded drill, is so much easier to maneuver and use. I mean, I'll use my corded drill occasionally. I will use that still, but but the hose, the air hose on a 3/8 drill is too big.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The nice one of our guys has got a really low profile drill, just like a 90-degree
angled.
Yep. And that one's kind of nicer. Okay, I got to get up in between a frame and a muffler or whatever, and that kind of comes in handy. But yeah, most of the time, they'll go battery.
The new Matco that they dropped it this week on the Instagram. The new Matco, that little blue stubby gun.
I haven't seen it.
Wow, they should tell you about this stuff. It's I had a feeling that you were going to say that too.
Oh, that was that palm, a palm gun.
Yeah, they call it palm gun, right.
Yeah.
Really stubby,
Yeah.
stubby. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was that's I remember seeing something about that. I saw that in that was in a flyer a couple months ago. It was a palm. I think they have a 1/2 inch and 3/8.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a quarter. I just think it's. But that's some new company. I noticed. I think I'm not 100%, but yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, and then we had our flex head. I know the flex head impact is pretty popular. A lot of guys like that. I don't
Bet
know.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, the flex head, 1/2 inch or 3/8. A lot of the body guys like it because taking bumpers off or whatever. That's been fairly popular. And it's funny, you know what else? I sold a whole bunch, or I sold quite a few of those belt sanding tools, the belt sanders.
Yeah, I got to get one of those.
And I sold a handful of battery powered ones. And a lot of the guys that bought the battery power came back and asked for air.
All right.
I actually put the air back on the truck.
I like mine.
All right, so here you go.
Yeah, the palm. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know what the hell that thing is he's taking off, but it is awful.
Yeah. 400 breakaway torque.
Yeah.
On a 3/8.
Of course, they don't show you when you start you're taking the nut off, and the tool gets jammed up into the next.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They can't get anything out.
Yeah, they're not going to show you that.
Yeah, they don't show you that. That happens all
right
the
there.
time.
It's going to be right there, too.
Yeah, right. Let's put that one back on.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, there you go. So that's it. That's what they don't tell you, Brian.
Yeah, the things that that's why people look at when they say, "Hey, I want that thing." And you're looking like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And they look at me like, "Man, you drink too much tequila, dude. You gotta calm down." Yeah. So. Yeah, they. But I was really surprised. I think I sold 3 today. On the belt sanders.
Yeah, I tell you, man.
These guys right here.
I was when you need one of them, that's a great tool to have.
I use mine all the time.
So the guys didn't like the battery, I guess, because of the power factor, right?
I guess the power, like I said, because I had battery ones. I had air ones, and then of course started selling so much battery stuff. I put battery ones and never really ordered the air ones again. And I had, like I said last week, I had a couple guys say, got any air grinder, belt grinders, and I was like, no, but I got these batteries. He goes, well, I already bought one of those, and I don't like it. So there are, like I said, there are still a few things. Maybe it's not completely dead.
I think you gotta, if the guy was starting out and I was advising him, I'd say, yeah, you gotta have a 1/2 inch air gun.
Yeah.
It's great for. I mean, because the 1/2 inch battery guns I worked with, were big and fucking heavy, man. And,
Yeah.
you know, just the air gun is nowhere near as cumbersome, you know, and I think it's got more power. I really do.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the problem that, like I said, and a lot of guys are finding this out, is that, you know, they in conversation, you know, because I think I got 2 or 3 I need to send out. But, you know, they said these battery guns just don't last as long as my air gun. You know, I mean, I've had this air gun for 30 years and never done anything to it. And this is the 3rd time I've sent my electric gun, you know, because they're you know, they wear out, the stators or brush, you know, especially when they were had brushes in them.
Right.
And I said, well, it's just, they're not meant for that type of, you know, everyday pounding, you know.
Just had this conversation with our Mac guy today.
Really?
About that. The battery stuff's just not lasting.
Yeah.
And that's probably why even my air stuff lasts me so long, because I'm in the habit of using a breaker bar and breaking it loose with a breaker bar and then running it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, most times, sometimes no. Like if you're doing suspension or something, you're going to put it on a nut and you're going to hit it, you know?
Yeah. But I got guys and, you know, and of course, you know, and the most amazing thing, of course, I know why we did it. You know, we just upped the Mako Infinity line. We just upped the warranty another year. It's up to 3 years now. And the part of the problem is because Milwaukee's 5.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've upped that to 3 years, which is okay, but man, you know, you personally, you send it out and it takes forever, or you know, they don't have parts for them, so
yeah,
you're better off just and of course then you know, unless I mean, if you're fortunate enough to have a backup as the air, you're all right, but
yeah.
But it's I just find it pretty interesting that certain tools, you know, that's like the die grinders. This is a die grinder, angle die grinder battery. This is a Infinity line, and I use this. I mean, this is really nice when you just gotta clean something up quick or whatever, but you know, you don't want to spend 45 minutes trying to.
Well, you know, case in point,
right?
I did on my trunk to open up the trunk to put the power latch in. I learned, I didn't know this. The trunk is double wall back there.
Yeah.
You know, my deck lid comes out and then drops down. It's got a drop, and that's double walled. I was like, holy shit, because I use like an end mill bit, one of those square end mill bits on my die grinder.
Did you use
Yeah, the bigger one.
Yeah.
I use that, and you know, well, actually, I knew I wasn't going to get square.
Was it the cone one?
No, I didn't use the cone. I used the one that's got the square top.
The barrel.
Yep. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I got a set. I got that set.
Yeah. So what I did is I took the my Milwaukee, the battery powered saw that I have, the hacksaw, and I cut into the corners to make the square corners first. And then I used the die grinder to kind of start removing the metal. And as I was getting closer to my line, I could see that, you know, as you're biting, you could go over. So I switched to a stone and, you know, finished up with that. But yeah, because those die grinder bits, they'll get you in trouble fast.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah, those things eat.
They do. They do. And
I don't know. I don't know where my aluminum ones went.
That is something I got to get a set of.
Aluminum ones.
Is the aluminum?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The flue or the cut. On because you can't cut aluminum with. You can cut aluminum with them, but you'll clog them up.
Is it like a double, like a knurl almost? Looks like a
No,
knurl?
it's just like where did my aluminum one? I just what's this one? No, that's stainless. There's actually aluminum, steel, and they make one for stainless steel too. Oh, here.
I'll look into that stainless one.
The stainless ones are really nice. They're
I don't know. I never grinded stainless steel though.
oh no, this is metal. Shit.
I get into it sometimes on the exhaust work to where I need a die grinder.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. The only, I mean, like on the regular metal burrs, you could do stainless steel with them. The only time it's really nice with the stainless steel, let's say that you were like what Ray was doing, where you had a piece of stainless steel metal, a sheet of metal, a stainless steel metal, and you had to take a little bit off. The way it's cut, it won't grab and pull or bend. It's not going to bend the metal. Really. God, I hate when I do that. I put that thing someplace.
Because I'll get into a point like if I'm doing like H pipes or X pipes or putting cutouts in something, and you got to fit the pipes and grind a hole and kind of make it nice and
right.
Trying to get a nice precise fit.
Yeah.
I don't know if this would be a good enough picture.
It's like one of those tube notchers.
But see, that's aluminum.
Okay. Yeah. Looks like a twisted pretzel.
Yeah, it's just got a bigger opening.
Right.
And then the stainless steel, this catalog might be too old for the stainless steel. What's this? Is this stainless steel? The stainless steel one has you know how like on this cut, this is like the metal cut, right? And how the stainless steel ones has a hard line going across. Going across it. It's just it like cuts it out. I mean, divides it. It's like
so it's probably it's a relief.
Yeah, it's like on a tap or something, right. Where it has a line.
That's
so
a relief cut, yeah.
And so, but what that does is like when you're coming across a piece of metal, it won't grab it and jerk it or whatever. It help cut that type of thing with stainless steel.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
But I did that when I was a young lad in my shop, and the first time I hogged out my aluminum intake. I was the guy that I was working with my mentor. He left. And of course I went over to his toolbox and pulled out his die grinder, the die grinder and the bits, and I was hogging out the thing. Well, I didn't realize, but it clogged it all. Clogged it all up. So when he went to use it, it was all clogged up.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, asshole, what do you do to my thing?" And of course I told him, and then that's when he showed me that there was aluminum ones and metal ones. And that was my early learning back then.
There you go.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, those because I still have it. Guys will buy them, and you go, and next week they say, "Oh, these are dull." And of course, we have lifetime warranty on them, and you grab your little pick and you start picking out all the aluminum and say, "Here you go, buddy. Start picking."
Right.
So, really, it's very rare I've had one break or really. I have had them chip up. Over a period of time, you can chip them up, but it's not. They're pretty durable, pretty strong. So, but I will have to admit, I do like it on my battery one.
Okay.
But if I had to do anything long term or whatever, I would definitely use air.
I could see, I could see having that for, like you said, for light work or just clean up stuff. Sure, that'd be
Yeah.
okay. But then again, I always fight with myself because I have the first die grinder I had was a straight die grinder,
Uh-huh.
and then I got a 90-degree, and I like the 90 to put the roll lock discs on if I want to do like gas,
Rotors or hubs
Yep.
or
not the straight. The straight I like to put a tool in,
yeah.
or a wheel.
Yep.
So now I had two of them, and then I got a third one that has a 45-degree head on it.
Yep.
And it's like, damn, it's like it's funny how one tool, you need like the ergonomics, are so different.
Yeah. Yeah, the 45 is really nice. I used to, I don't know what happened to my 45. I don't know whatever happened to it. But I used my 45. I actually started using it more than my 90. It just the way it sat in my hand and worked. It was a lot easier or nicer.
The one tool
Right.
that I wish I could remember. That I wish I could really get to work well is the little body metal saw, the body saws.
Oh yeah.
I got like two of them, and I don't know, the blades wobble because they can get into some tight places.
Yeah.
And I wish I had one that really worked well. I don't.
The vibrators.
Yeah, I don't know if a really, really good one exists. I don't know.
We had one, and I don't know if we still make it. And I might have an extra one laying around here, but it was gear driven.
Oh, really?
It was sealed unit. It was gear driven, and that's a beast. That thing will cut like 1/2-inch steel or what. I mean, it's just. It's a killer. I sold a handful, and I don't think we still make it.
That's what I would have gone for to clearance this deck lid because of the close tolerance. Because the blades on those are pretty small too, and I just knew, I knew that I had like one or two of them, and I said, you know what? Don't even go and bother yourself because you're gonna be pissed off, and you're not gonna. I just went and grabbed that mill.
Yeah, the gear one. You're talking about these guys here, right?
Yeah.
This little guy right here. This is like the standard. Most people. This is the one. This one right here has been around forever.
Okay.
This one right here is really, really nice. The smaller one. This one's really good. And this one itself is the top one is an upgrade from this guy right here.
Right.
But they're all pretty nice. I don't know.
I tell you, the blades are hard to find too.
No, not really.
Not everybody has them.
Huh? Oh, well, actually, I have a couple guys, and believe it or not, they just use hacksaw blades.
Really?
They cut them in thirds, and they have 3 blades for one.
Oh wow!
And it fits. And I thought they were full of it, and I've actually done it, so it does work. But
how does it fit into the tool?
How normal?
No, what grabs it? Why? I don't remember what.
Well, you have the set screw. You have the set screw that goes in there.
Oh, okay.
Now, granted, even though not all of them, because you can see here, like the blades here, I don't know if I can see how they have the hole.
Yeah.
That hole is supposed to, the set screw is supposed to anchor into that hole. Right. But there are some that don't have the holes.
Yeah.
And, but you have the set screw. But I was really surprised. I had a guy, a buddy of mine, and he was like, I saw him and I said, why are you running a hacksaw blade? He goes, well, it's cheaper and you get 3 for every blade. And I was like, dude, there's no way that works. And he goes, yeah. And sure enough, I came home, cut a blade, cut a blade up. And I was like, holy crap.
I would think that blade would bounce back and forth too much.
No, because like I said, you can make it 3. Actually, when I was cutting that car up, I made them 6 inches long, and it, like I said, I never had any problems.
Wow.
So
You try it, 'cause I have hacksaw blades. I sure do.
and if you really, even like the Sawzall blades,
Yeah.
they'll work, but you have to trim a little bit off here.
Right.
Sometimes you got to cut the nipple off.
Yeah.
But if you want a good hard blade or a good thick blade,
Yeah, those are good.
the Sawzall. I don't have any cut, but yeah, you can just take a regular blade, hacksaw blade,
Right.
and then you cut it down. You could probably, like I said, you can almost get 4 out of 1. So it's kind of cool.
I'll have to remember that next time I need to saw something.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
But since I got the hacksaw, that thing is because I keep forgetting, and then I remember like, oh yeah, I got the hacksaw. Let me see if I can use that. And that thing, that tool has always, always got me through. Always impressed me. I just got to remember that I have it.
which one?
The hacksaw.
Yeah.
The Milwaukee. That little thing works well.
Yeah, but again, like I said, just so much stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, just trying to get all that stuff together. I got, these things. These are great, but you can't get them too hot.
Is that a stone?
Those are stones.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But, a lot of times they're only supposed to spend 2,000 RPMs or something.
Right.
And a lot of guys throw them in a die grinder and they're spending 20,000 RPMs.
Yeah.
And, they wonder why they blow apart.
Yeah.
So I always joke, that's like, I had a guy actually, it was a couple of weeks ago. He's like, you have any more of those wire wheels? And I'm like, yeah, why? He goes, well, yours don't blow apart like the other ones. And I'm like, well, what are you running them in? And he goes, well, my die grinder. And I said, dude, they're only supposed to turn 4,500 RPMs, 4,500. And I said, you're only with a die grinder, that's 10,000 RPMs. And the ones I sell, but yours is so expensive, but I'm selling ones that are 6,800. You know what I'm saying? Mine are USA versus China. And he's like, yours lasts longer than the other ones. And I'm like, well, how about just turning the die grinder down a little bit? It's like,
yeah, for a wire wheel, that's fast.
Yeah.
Sending them things.
Yeah, man.
Wires everywhere.
Yeah. He blows the
goes to show you guys will do just about anything.
Yeah. Well,
I've even noticed on my die grinders too. Like I've got them both turned right down and they still are ripping.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the low speed. I don't know if they actually have that spec in here, but I'm amazed. Do you have the Mako ones?
Yeah, the 3/4 horse.
The 3/4? Yeah. The ones those are we have a 33 was a 33 and a 33 50 85 and 1 horsepower. The 1 horsepower one's a beast. Yeah.
That would be. Yeah, I got mine. Like so there was a sale at the time on
buy one get one
half
free.
Horse. Well, there was a half horse at the time, and he's like, you don't want that. And so I got the 3/4, and I bought the one before the other.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they because I get guys, I don't know who it was. I think it was Mac. They had like only a 1/4 horsepower ones. And, you go to use it. And of course, if you put any pressure, you stop, you could actually stop it, when you're grinding. And So we bumped our cheapest one, like I said, is 33, 0.33 of a horse. And then we did but they spend like the one that you have it's 18,000 on high. That's a lot of that's
ripping.
Yeah, that's ripping, baby. I'm surprised they don't show what high and low is.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what it is.
Yeah, I'll have to dig in. Maybe on the app it might have a better spec sheet than the old catalog. But
yeah, I think those, and even my belt sander, I think that thing's turned all the way down.
Oh yeah, you have 3 settings on that. What belt do you run on yours? Have you changed? What do you have, the rubber wheel or the steel wheel up front?
I think mine. It's whatever's on it. I guess I'm having a blank if I can't remember there. I know it's that Silver Eagle, whatever was on it.
Well, like I said, I'm curious because the earlier one had a steel wheel, and we had problems with. Well, we didn't. The manufacturer. What will happen is it would eat the belt up. The belt would get eaten up, and then they put a rubber wheel on.
I think this one's rubber.
I just didn't know if you ever put a rubber wheel on it, or you can if you because there's 2 little bearings in there that will lock up over a period of time. I mean, the body shop guys, of course, those guys are all angels, but they're really animals with that stuff. I forgot we're still being live, so they're all angels, but they're a little rough on that shit.
We've had a few. I mean, we've had a few metal guys too that get pretty grind happy.
Yeah. Those belt sanders say 17,000 RPMs, but they don't show the different speeds. It's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think my speed right now is going to be to speed up this and
yeah. The wife just got back here with Emma. She went up. Emma's on her fall break or whatever.
Already?
Yeah.
That's fast.
Yeah, she's home for 4 days or something, 3 days.
Good.
Went up and got her. She's up in Pennsylvania. The wife said the traffic was a disaster. She even thought sticking up there a little bit and then coming down here later on, because like I said, they just got home. It's usually about 2.5 hour drive. So
she should have swung way this way. Could have had to help do some brake work.
Yeah, well, that's
Ask her, you ever worked on a Jeep?
You ever worked on a Jeep? Well, I don't know. So what are you gonna do, Ray? You just gonna start? You gonna finish with the bleed, or are you going to check the pedal depth, or what are you going to do? You just want to...
Well, I do know that it's missing hardware on the rear brakes. So first thing in the morning, I'm going to text the guy at the shop and tell him, order the hardware for both sides so it's there when I get there. And I think what I got to do is I was reading a little on this, the metering valve. I got to see if it's a pull or a push. And, but you see, they were saying in the book, if you push too hard, the thing to do is to push easier so you don't activate the valve and then block it off. But I was getting fluid out of all 4 wheels.
Yeah,
I did see fluid come out, so I didn't stop it.
I
mean, you know what? The other thing is, and I even hate to say it, but it's so true. When the guy came to deliver the part, Ronnie the manager, he took it out of the box and he handed it to me. And I noticed the one that was on the Jeep was aluminum and the replacement was cast. So he says to me, do you need this? Like, what? You need the box? Like, no, I don't need the box. He probably threw it out, and I'm thinking, it doesn't mean I don't have a bad master.
Right. Or the wrong one.
And I'm thinking, like, and now if I knew what brand it was, I'd already have my preconceived notions,
Yeah.
So if it was that company with a D, I'd already be saying,
yeah.
get me another one because I had plenty of them bad right out of the box.
Yeah, but
Good old new.
was there wasn't fluid, like I know it was leaking, but was there actually fluid in the brake and the booster? I mean, was there? Because I want to tell you something. I had an Audi one time that drove me absolutely insane with the braking. I couldn't get a good pedal, and it drove me crazy. And believe it or not, the brake booster had about 2.5 inches of fluid in it.
Wow.
And it was pushing up against that diaphragm in there.
Huh.
It didn't have room to compress, and at different temperatures it was working. I mean, it would do different because that fluid was the whatever was in there, whatever fluid, I don't know, but it drove me crazy. And finally what I did was I took that big vacuum line, that the vacuum source.
Yeah.
I pulled that grommet out, and I took a wire tie and I stuck it down in there, and I pulled it up like a dipstick, and there was fluid on it.
I'll check that. I think what happened is this thing sat because what I'm seeing is just this crustiness. Just it looked like white rust, and that fluid crystallized.
Yeah.
So for that to happen, it had to sit for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long this Jeep had been not used. I don't know. Again, it's the things you don't know.
Right.
You gotta be
but that was the weirdest thing. And like I said, it was like it never was 100%, but it was like, they're like, when I would come back from a road test, I would like shake my head because I was like, it's better, but it's not 100%. And then of course you go drive it the next day, like when it was cold, and you're like, what the hell happened? This thing has no, the brakes suck in it, and it was all on that fluid. And I don't know what possessed me or how I came about, but I guess it was before I said we're going to put a new brake booster on it. I wanted to try to figure out.
I mean, I know this guy isn't the most sensitive guy to brakes. I am very sensitive to brakes because when I had that Mustang and I found that 3 wheels were on one circuit and one wheel was on the other, and then I told the boss, said, listen, this should be fixed. I got to look into this to find out how it's supposed to be plumbed. He said, well, the guy needs his car for the weekend. He's doing a show. He wants to take it. I was like, but it's not right. The brakes aren't right. And the guy says, yeah, he says, no, he's just going to take it and he'll be in the show field. And he took it. I said, all right, okay. And it came back again because the front wheel, one of the front wheel cylinders, the right wheel cylinder popped again because it had too much pressure on it. So when it came back that time, that's when I said, okay, now I have it. Now I'm fixing that problem, whether he likes it or not. Right. He never complained about the brakes. He just complained that it leaked.
Yeah.
He wasn't complaining about the feel of it. And that's when I found out. That's when you gave me the info, and my friend Vinny gave me went out to his wife's car, and I made a new drawing, and I said, okay, now I see how it's got to go, and I moved the lines around.
Yeah.
And then he was really happy. Whoa, now it feels real good. Like, yeah, well, so this guy's a fool. But and like I said, I don't know what the pedal was like before.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Right.
That's always that's not always the problem, but that's a big part of it. Like I said, you walk in the middle of it and you don't know, especially I can't believe this guy must really he must really like pain and suffering, because I cannot believe usually most people learn the first, they only get burned once. Maybe he thought because it was a Jeep, not a Mustang or a classic car, that he wouldn't have this problem, or
maybe.
I don't know, but
yeah, I don't know. But like I said, they were telling me that his idea already was to do a motor and tranny swap. I was like, why?
How big are the tires are there? Because I had that problem with my Scout when when I didn't put them on, but they were on there. You know, you had these little 9x2 drums all the way around, and here it is. Somebody put a 345 from a 4-cylinder, and they put a 345 V8 school bus motor in it, and then we put 35s on it. Yeah. So trying to stop that thing was like, well, you got to think about 2 days before you're going to stop, because you know, the brakes just were nowhere near.
These tires are definitely oversized for the Jeep. They look good.
Yeah.
I didn't really look to see at the size of them. Let me see. I was more concerned with other shit like his missing lug nuts. I got a picture of the tire here. Let me see. I did take a picture of the rim. They're Nan Kings.
Well, like 32. Are they 32s or 35s? Probably 32s.
It's actually a 265.
Oh.
What? 265 101.15? I've never heard of that before.
101.15?
265 slash an angled 10. No, it's a 10.
10. Okay.
10R15.
Yeah. Okay.
So what does that mean? 265 10R15.
I had to look in the book. I know.
I mean, 265 is the width.
Right, and 10 would be.
That would be the aspect ratio.
Would that be the rim?
No, it's a 15.
Oh, 15, yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's a pretty beefy tire.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, I had trouble putting them back on. Even it was the end of the day, granted, but I was like, "Oh man," he said, "Yeah, it's it's an aluminum wheel, but it's heavy. The whole thing."
Oh yeah, that's a lot of rubber. That's a lot of rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's when you're supposed to have your 7-Eleven day helper there, so you can say, "Boy, pick it up."
Exactly what I thought. I was fighting with one of them. I said, "This is when I need a kid brake." Say, "All right, look, put these wheels back on."
Yeah.
And then let me know when you're done.
Yeah, put these wheels. That's like back in the day, like what I said when I was starting out, and then my my mentor was like, "Hey asshole, put these wheels on. I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Hey, bring me back one." Yeah, right. Whatever.
Yeah. Right. That's exactly what I thought today. I'm looking around like, yeah, I'm the asshole.
All right, guys. Well, tomorrow's Friday the 13th. Got a full moon.
All right.
Stay safe.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
How bad could it be?
Like I said, I'm ready for anything. So.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's